Imagine growing up dirt poor in a world where strength is everything. Your family's barely scraping by, and you're stuck wondering if life will ever give you a break. Then one day, bam, a system awakens, and suddenly you're a beast tamer. Sounds like a dream, right? Except your first beast is a tiny, scrawny turtle. Not exactly the stuff of legends, but here's where it gets wild. This turtle, it can evolve, and not just a little, it can grow into a god-slaying powerhouse just by eating. That's right, feed it enough, and it becomes a force so unstoppable that even the strongest tremble. So how far can this guy and his overpowered turtle go? Let's get into the story. In Django City, on May 20th, 2024, chaos erupted as a new spatial rift appeared in the skies above Jiangju. The 3rd Division immediately engaged in battle with the demonic creatures pouring out of the rift. Warriors scrambled to fend off the invaders, each fighting desperately to hold the line. Amid the fray, a wolf-like monster sneered at the human resistance, calling their stubbornness futile. This was no ordinary monster. It was the 6-eared Wolf King, a powerful gold-level creature. It moved with incredible speed, leaping from one human to another, effortlessly overpowering them. One of the warriors, a confused woman, questioned whether the newly opened portal might be a higher level one, given the strength of their opponent. Pausing briefly in its onslaught, the 6-eared Wolf King mocked the humans, claiming it was too late for them to realize the truth. Before it could attack again, a powerful laser beam struck its path, halting it in its tracks. A man arrived just in time, reassuring the woman that he would handle the Wolf King and instructing her to focus on the remaining enemies. Relief washed over the warriors as they recognized him, Wu An, a skilled and trusted fighter. Moments later, an explosion rocked the battlefield, signaling the end of the battle. The woman reported back to headquarters, confirming that with Wu An's help, they had successfully repelled the 6-eared wolf clan. The man in charge praised their efforts, but his relief was short-lived. As he reviewed the latest reports, he noticed something alarming. Another new rift had opened, this time a level C1. It was the 6th one in the past decade, a troubling pattern that, if continued, could spell disaster for Django City's defenses. Recognizing the escalating threat, the man made a decisive call. Starting that year, superhumans at Martial University would be exempt from cultural exams, and the admission score for martial artists would be halved. The goal was clear: to bolster their ranks with capable fighters as quickly as possible. Later that day, after class was dismissed, a male student teased his classmate for zoning out during the lecture. He warned that low cultural scores might prevent him from getting into Martial University. The classmate, unimpressed, shot back that the other guy wasn't much better, pointing out how he had also been distracted. Their banter turned to dreams of sitting next to the beautiful Yanran, prompting them to wonder aloud why Subai was so lucky. Meanwhile, Yanran, a striking girl with an air of quiet confidence, calmly adjusted her notebook. With graduation approaching, she turned to Subai and asked if he planned to attend Martial University. Subai hesitated, admitting that he wasn't sure. His grades were average, and in these chaotic times, he doubted the relevance of subjects like foreign languages or advanced mathematics. On top of that, his family wasn't wealthy, meaning they couldn't afford expensive supplements. And most importantly, he had no special abilities. Inwardly, Subai reflected on his strange circumstances. Having crossed over into this world, he had expected to awaken some sort of heaven-defying talent or system. But so far, nothing remarkable had happened, leaving him frustrated and uncertain about his future. Sensing his unease, Yanran invited him to join her at the university. She revealed that she had found a way to get him in, causing Subai to blurt out his surprise. Yanran quickly hushed him, reminding him to keep his voice down. In that moment, Subai's status window appeared before him, revealing crucial information. He was a level 1 beginner with the unique Beast Tamer trait, allowing him to contract and evolve beasts infinitely, enhancing his abilities. It also highlighted the myriad race invasion as a global crisis and detailed power levels from ordinary to god. Yanran noticed Subai sweating profusely and asked if something was wrong. Realizing that only he could see the status window, Subai quickly grabbed her hand, assuring her that he was fine. Yanran blushed at the unexpected contact, while several male students nearby glared in jealousy. They loudly protested, accusing Subai of being ungrateful despite already sitting next to Yanran. One particularly bold student, a bald man, stepped forward, intent on teaching Subai a lesson. However, before things could escalate, a yellow-haired woman appeared and ordered everyone to settle down. She had an important announcement to make. Django Martial University had just posted an update. Starting that year, superhumans would be exempt from cultural exams, and students with martial artist physiques would see their required scores halved. Excitement rippled through the class. One student expressed envy, wishing he were a superhuman, while another commented that having the score requirements halved was already a significant advantage. The woman, likely their teacher, advised any students who had awakened abilities or a martial foundation to register in her office as soon as possible. For Subai, the announcement couldn't have come at a better time. Having just awakened his abilities, he now had a clear path to Martial University, and perhaps, a chance to finally prove. Yanran observed Subai's reaction. curious if he truly intended to enroll at Marshall University. Subai had been living in that world for 17 years, but everything changed on September 18, 1906, when the sky suddenly tore open, revealing massive spatial rifts. From these rifts, countless beasts emerged, spreading chaos. Armies from various nations fought tirelessly for 3 months before they managed to eliminate the initial wave of beasts. However, the rifts remained open, allowing new waves of beasts to periodically pour out. To counter the ongoing threat, humanity resorted to drastic measures. Suicide squads were sent into the rifts, and what they found was a vast, unending land on the other side. To prevent further invasions, military forces from different countries united and established bases within the rifts, aiming to fend off the beasts at their source. This marked the dawn of humanity's new era. On March 6, 1907, the second rift appeared, followed by a third on May 7, 1907. Over the next century, the number of rifts increased exponentially, spreading across the globe. Each rift led to a different realm inhabited by distinct races of beasts. Scientists named the land beyond the rifts the battlefield of myriad races. Simultaneously, Earth's spiritual energy began to recover, and humans gradually awakened martial abilities and powers. As the battles intensified, conventional firearms proved ineffective against the beasts, while superhumans grew in strength. Eventually, superhumans replaced firearms as the primary force in the war against the myriad races. The conflict continues to this day. Subai reflected on the recent reforms at Django Marshall University. Clearly, the situation in Django had grown dire. Fortunately, he had activated his system, which he now saw as essential for protecting his family in this chaotic world. He realized that the fastest way to grow stronger was through Marshall University, which had military backing. Luckily, with his beast tamer abilities, he could gain entry without taking exams. All he needed was a contracted beast. Determined to secure a spot, Subai resolved to head to Marshall University, hoping that the 2,000 yuan he had saved would be enough. As he entered a shop, he pondered why the system hadn't detected any suitable beasts yet. The woman at the front desk greeted him and asked what he needed. Subai explained that he was a beast tamer and inquired about available beasts. The woman pointed to a glass enclosure housing a black cat. Although it was just an ordinary beast, it carried nether cat blood, giving it the potential to evolve into a silver-level creature. However, it was far too expensive for Subai. The woman then showed him a 4-year-old dog with a 6-eared wolf bloodline, priced at 33,000 yuan. As she continued showing him beasts, the prices only increased. Frustrated by the exorbitant costs, Subai quietly slipped out of the store, feeling like he was being scammed. He couldn't believe the high prices simply because the beasts had some monster blood. He began to doubt the system, wondering why none of the beasts seemed suitable. When he arrived home, the system finally responded. To his surprise, it detected his dad's pet tortoise. Disappointed, Subai questioned how a tiny tortoise could be useful. Still, realizing he had no other options at the moment, he decided to tame it, hoping to replace it with something more impressive later. A light enveloped the tortoise, and the system displayed its details. It was a small turtle at the ordinary beginner level, possessing traces of the sacred black tortoise bloodline. The turtle had 1 constitution, 3 defense, 1 mentality, and 1 speed. Its ability was turtle shell defense, and its evolution method was eating. Most astonishingly, the system indicated that it could grow infinitely and eventually slay gods. Subai was stunned. He couldn't believe that such a tiny creature had the potential to become so powerful. Gradually, he began to appreciate the little turtle, realizing its immense potential due to its black tortoise bloodline. He decided not to replace it after all. Just then, his sister, Su Xiaomei, appeared and scolded him for playing with their dad's treasured pet. Subai tried to explain, but before he could say much, the turtle jumped into a bag and let out a small roar, clearly hungry. Subai joked about its gluttony as Su Xiaomei questioned why it was eating so much despite being fed earlier. Subai quickly realized that the turtle's appetite was a sign of its evolution. Without wasting time, he decided to get more food for it, understanding that this little creature could be his ticket to Marshall University and, ultimately, his key to survival in the chaotic world. Half an hour later, Subai's parents, Mother and Father Lin, arrived home and were immediately shocked by the state of the house. The place was in complete chaos. Mother Lin, bewildered, asked if they had been robbed. Meanwhile, the turtle was chasing Su Xiaomei around, trying to snatch her snack, and Xiaomei wasn't willing to give it up since it was her last one. Their dad, looking pale, asked if the turtle was actually Ba, while Mother Lin questioned if tortoises could really run that fast. Subai sighed, knowing how tough things already were for his parents. He decided not to mention that Ba was turning into a bottomless pit. Instead, he resolved to handle the situation himself. The chaotic battle over snacks seemed to end with Xiaomei losing, as the turtle finally snagged her snack. Suddenly, a spirit animal emerged from the turtle's body. Subai wondered if this was happening because Ba was finally full and the black tortoise bloodline was about to activate. However, just as quickly as the shadow appeared, it vanished, signaling that the bloodline hadn't fully awakened yet. Still, the turtle's appetite seemed insatiable. Determined to find a solution, Subai headed back to the pet shop. The woman at the shop recognized him and asked if he had made a decision about which beast to buy. Subai quietly informed her that he wasn't buying anything this time. Instead, he leaned in and whispered, asking if they accepted exotic beast blood. The woman was surprised by the unusual request. Noticing their conversation, a man seated nearby dismissed the woman, revealing himself to be the shop owner. The owner invited Subai to sit down and discuss the matter. He confirmed that Subai indeed had exotic beast blood and offered to test its quality. After sniffing the container, he verified that it was genuine and of top quality. Curious, he asked Subai how much he wanted for it. Subai, knowing how hard it was to extract, aimed high and expected a decent offer. The owner initially offered 1,000 yen, which made Subai react with obvious displeasure. Realizing that Subai might be knowledgeable, the owner raised his offer to 10,000 yen. Still, Subai wasn't satisfied and exaggerated his reaction, prompting the owner to up the price again to 15,000 yen, his final offer. Subai, secretly thrilled by the unexpected value of the blood, managed to keep a straight face and accepted the deal, acting smug as he remarked that he wouldn't have sold it if he hadn't been in urgent need of money. The owner and receptionist saw him off, telling him to return if he ever had more valuable items to sell. Walking away, Subai marveled at how valuable exotic beast blood was, happy that he had made 15,000 yen, enough to support himself for a while. As he left the shop, he received a phone call from teacher Lee, who informed him that the academic results were out and that there was important news for him. She instructed him to come to school that afternoon to fill out an application form and reminded him not to be late. Subai tried asking about the news, but the call abruptly ended as he lost signal. Before he could process what had just happened, a system window appeared in front of him, warning that 3 humans within 10 meters were harboring increasing malice toward him. It advised him to be cautious. Subai quickly deduced that these must be the men who had been with the pet shop owner earlier. One of them, a bald man, had likely figured out that Subai was carrying something valuable based on the owner's behavior. Trying to stay calm, Subai acted meek and explained that he had only gone to the pet store to sell something, not to buy anything. Inwardly, he cursed his luck, but noted that if only one of them was a primary warrior, he wouldn't be afraid. The bald man demanded that Subai hand over the money. Subai pretended to comply, slowly taking out Ba, who was hidden in its shell. With a sudden move, he hurled Ba at them. The bald man, gripping his Morgenstern, assumed a stance like a baseball player, ready to knock the turtle away. However, before he could react, Subai delivered a swift kick straight to his groin. The man let out a loud scream, collapsing in pain. Seeing their leader incapacitated, the other 2 men charged at Subai in anger. Subai quickly turned and ran, thinking to himself that Ba's defense really was impressive. As the men closed in, he ordered Ba to harden up and braced himself. Holding Ba like a weapon, Subai turned and punched one of the men, using the turtle's hard shell to deliver a painful blow. The impact left the man reeling in pain. Enraged, the bald man vowed to kill Subai. Subai calmly told Ba to pull back momentarily before grabbing the turtle like a projectile. With all his strength, he threw Ba straight at the bald man's face. The turtle hit its target perfectly, knocking the man to the ground and even dislodging a golden tooth in the process. Subai stood over them, declaring that they had brought this on themselves. Just then, he noticed Ba crawling over the bald man, holding something red in its flippers. Curious, Subai rushed over and asked what Ba had found. To his surprise, the item was gone before he could get a good look. Realizing what had happened, Subai figured out that Ba had swallowed a key and a blood potion. The potion alone was worth tens of thousands, something a warrior would typically need a month to absorb properly. Yet, Ba had consumed it in mere seconds. Subai couldn't help but ask in disbelief if Ba could even digest it. Subai trembled as a strange glow enveloped his body, and to his surprise, the turtle began glowing too. He could feel a surge of strength coursing through him. Subai's level rose to normal mid-level, with his physique reaching 16 points, including 6 from his tamed beast. He gained 2 talents: Evolution, enabling infinite beast evolution, and Turtle Skin Defense, a stamina-based defensive skill. Amazed by the boost, he marveled at the potency of the key and blood potion. Meanwhile, the small turtle had grown in both size and strength, now boasting 32 points in physique and 38 in defense. Subai recalled a lesson from class. Even strength-type exotic beasts at normal high level only reached about 30 in physique. This realization made him wonder how formidable the turtle would become when fully activated. Since the turtle had eaten enough, Subai decided it was time to head out quickly. With the academic results released, they needed to submit their applications, and an important announcement awaited them at school. At school, the yellow-haired teacher informed the students about the upcoming special admissions event. A teacher from Marshall University would visit the next day to conduct an ability test for the candidates. As always, 2 guaranteed spots were available for the top performers. Yanren turned to Subai and asked if he had decided between the Humanities Institute and Marshall University. Subai firmly stated that he intended to enroll at Marshall University. Yanran was surprised, reminding him that she had suggested applying to the Humanities Institute with her. Concerned, she pointed out that students from Marshall University were frequently sent to the battlefield. She wanted to make sure he understood the risks, and also mentioned his average grades. Subai responded resolutely, saying that someone needed to go to the front lines, and he was determined to protect someone important. Yanran silently wondered if she was the one he wanted to protect. When the professor asked where she planned to apply, Yanran hesitated. Subai noticed that she hadn't awakened any abilities and lacked physical training, so she was likely leaning toward the Humanities Institute. She finally responded that she needed more time to decide. The female professor reminded everyone that this was a crucial decision. She instructed them to take their report cards home, discuss the matter with their parents, and submit their applications the next day. With that, the students were dismissed. Later, Yanran was seen relaxing in a flower-filled tub while her servant tended to her. She called Subai on the phone to inform him of her decision to join Marshall University as well. She added that she had a surprise for him. Subai, who was busy cleaning up after the turtle at the time, was startled by her announcement. He asked if she was serious, and after she confirmed, he told her he had things to take care of and ended the call. At that moment, Ba rummaged through a paper bag, making a mess while Subai stood nearby, frustrated. The turtle's constant eating and mess-making left Subai wondering how such a small creature could cause so much trouble. The next day, the students gathered for an important event. They were introduced to instructor Zhang Kai from Marshall University, who had traveled a long distance to meet them. Zhang Kai, a senior and a top graduate from their school, addressed the students. He began by recounting the harsh realities of being a Marshall University student. A year ago, 126 students from their school were admitted to Marshall University, but only 65 had survived. 2 years ago, 98 students were admitted, and now only 32 remained. 3 years ago, 86 students enrolled, and only 11 were still alive. Zhang Kai clarified that he wasn't trying to scare them, but wanted them to understand the gravity of joining Marshall University. He emphasized that admission was not something to brag about. It came with responsibilities, dangers, and the duty to protect their country. He went on to explain that Marshall University was a place where the strong were nurtured. Then he asked the students if they truly wanted to become strong. The students responded enthusiastically, and Zhang Kai expressed his hope to see impressive performances during the upcoming exams. As the event continued, Subai was stopped by his teacher. Zhang Kai approached and asked if he was Subai. After confirming, Subai was informed that he had been selected for direct admission to Marshall University. He was instructed to head there immediately to prepare for the entrance test. Shocked by the sudden turn of events, Subai could hardly believe what he had just heard. He was then told that a bus was waiting for him at the school gate. As he made his way there, other students looked on enviously. Upon reaching their destination, the students were instructed to exit the bus one by one, carrying their luggage with them. They couldn't help but notice the large stone monument ahead. The woman guiding them pointed out that it displayed the motto of Marshall University. She explained that they would first collect their training uniforms and then proceed to the dormitory. The woman pointed to her left, indicating the male dormitory. She informed the group that they could head to their dorms to rest and change into their newly received training uniforms. Later, someone would announce the time for the upcoming exam. They thanked her and went on their way. Subai arrived at his assigned room, where voices could be heard from inside. A group of students was already gathered, discussing the essentials of a martial artist's journey, particularly the importance of resources. A red-haired student proudly narrated how his father had recently acquired 3 drops of a rare beast's blood in Yushan. He then entrusted a master apothecary to create 3 bottles of top-tier body-refining elixirs. As he displayed the elixirs, the other students marveled, admitting they had never seen such rare beast blood before. Subai entered and introduced himself, mentioning that he had been assigned to room 303. With his arrival, the red-haired student noted that their dorm was now complete. He introduced himself as Han Jiagang, while pointing out the bald student, Fan Chaoan, and the large student, Tao Jiajun. Jiajun welcomed Subai warmly, assuring him that there was no need for formalities among roommates. He then invited Subai to take a closer look at the rare beast blood. Jiagang proudly recounted how his father had to contact numerous people across the country to obtain the blood, which he eventually secured in Yushan. However, they could only manage to acquire 3 drops. Hearing this, Subai couldn't help but wonder if it was the same blood he had sold earlier. When one of the students asked if the blood was expensive, Jiagang casually replied that it wasn't much, just a little over 30,000 wen, making the total cost for 3 drops nearly 100,000 wen. Subai grew annoyed, realizing that he had sold his share for a mere 30,000 wen, and now the pet shop owner had profited nearly tenfold. Internally, he cursed the shopkeeper, calling him a greedy middleman. Just then, Jiagang pointed out the window, noticing a beautiful girl standing outside. He joked that she was a perfect candidate for the campus beauty contest. The group admired her long legs and speculated on who she might be looking for. Meanwhile, a middle-aged woman approached the girl, informing her that she was at the male dormitory and asking who she was searching for. To the group's surprise, the girl revealed that she was looking for Subai. The woman loudly called out for Subai, announcing that a beauty was waiting for him. Instantly, the three roommates turned to Subai, dumbfounded. But before they could react further, Subai was already heading out the door. Yanran greeted Subai and commented on how sharp he looked in his uniform. Tapping his chest playfully, she complimented him on his appearance while adjusting his collar. Seeing this interaction, the other students in the dormitory couldn't help but express their jealousy. Some even protested aloud, feeling bitter at the sight. Yanran asked if Subai was upset about the direct admission offer. Subai assured her that he wasn't angry and shared that he still intended to take the exam. He knew she had acted out of goodwill, so he thanked her, even patting her head gently. Yanran was surprised by his gratitude, having expected him to be annoyed. With the entrance test scheduled for the day after tomorrow, Yanran handed Subai an elixir she had prepared for him. Though Subai initially declined, saying she had already helped him enough, she insisted until he accepted it. After a brief farewell, Yanran left. The entire scene had been observed by the students from the dormitory, who voiced their dissatisfaction and envy. When Subai returned to his room, his three roommates crowded around him, eager to learn more about the girl. They pampered him, asking questions about the goddess and how he knew her. Subai explained that they were high school classmates. Jagang, sensing an opportunity, declared that since they were now dorm brothers, it would be easy for Subai to introduce them to some of Yanran's friends. To celebrate their first meeting as dorm brothers, Jiagang suggested they have dinner together. The group agreed, and the three roommates left to prepare while encouraging Subai to take a rest. Subai found their camaraderie amusing and decided to relax. He pulled out Ba, curious to see what kind of elixir Yanran had given him. Upon inspecting the vial, his eyes lit up. It was blood key powder, a valuable substance. Realizing Ba was about to get another treat, Subai grinned mischievously and reminded the turtle of what it needed to do after consuming the powder. As night fell, the group gathered at a restaurant. One of the students commented on how fancy the place was, but Jagang dismissed the concern, insisting that Subai only needed to enjoy himself and leave the rest to him. They raised their glasses for a toast, during which Jagang gave a short speech. He expressed how lucky he felt to have met someone as capable as Subai at Marshall University. Subai, feeling the warm atmosphere, told them that since they were now brothers, there was no need for formalities. He also promised to introduce them to some of Yanran's friends, suggesting they could discuss it later. Jiagang, clearly pleased, offered to help Subai with anything he needed. Seizing the opportunity, Subai mentioned that he had some rare beast blood and could use Jiagang's help in selling it. Jiagang's friend Jiajun commented on how the beast blood Subai had was of a higher grade than anything Jiagang had seen before. Jiagang carefully examined it and admitted that he couldn't accurately judge its value due to its rarity. He decided to call his father for an assessment. Subai reassured him that there was no rush and suggested they eat first. Ignoring the suggestion, Jiagang made the call. The moment his father answered, he began scolding Jiagang for wasting money and spending too much time partying instead of focusing on becoming a strong martial artist. Jiagang quickly clarified that he wasn't calling to ask for money, but to discuss a serious business matter. He explained that his classmate had 7 drops of exceptionally rare beast blood, even higher quality than the 3 drops his father had previously acquired. Surprised, his father asked if he was certain. Jiagang swore that it was legitimate and urged his father to come see it in person. His father agreed and told him to send the address, promising to bring Master Cao for an evaluation. An hour later, Master Cao and Jiagang's father arrived. Master Cao carefully examined the beast blood and praised its top-notch quality, noting that the energy within it was the most refined he had seen in ordinary rare beast blood. He added that with those 7 drops, he could create at least 1 top-tier body-refining pill. Jiagang's father, initially skeptical, remarked that Master Cao's estimate might be too high. However, Master Cao insisted that if the blood were tested using top-tier instruments, its value would likely surpass even their expectations. Jiagang, clearly impressed, expressed his surprise at how valuable Subai's beast blood was. Master Cao then asked Subai how he intended to sell it. Subai responded that a friend had advised him not to sell the beast blood for money, but to exchange it for blood key powder of equivalent value. Understanding the offer, Jiagang's father assured Subai that, as an elder and a classmate's parent, he wouldn't shortchange him. He proposed taking all 7 drops in exchange for 14 bottles of blood key powder. Subai agreed to the deal. After finalizing the transaction, Uncle Han, Jiagang's father, brought up another topic. He asked if Subai was interested in joining the Han family, promising to provide all the resources he would need for cultivation in the future. Subai politely declined the offer, thanking him for the gesture. Before Uncle Han could insist, a familiar voice interrupted, firmly stating that Subai wouldn't be joining any family. It was Yanran who had arrived unexpectedly. She declared that no one could force Subai into joining a family against his will. Surprised by her sudden appearance, Subai asked why she was there. Yanran casually explained that she was running errands and happened to run into them. Uncle Han, taken aback by Yanran's presence, whispered to Master Cao, who quickly identified her. Realizing her importance, Uncle Han immediately changed his tone, emphasizing that his son and Subai were good friends. Yanran invited Subai to head back to school with her, and he accepted. After bidding farewell to Uncle Han and Jiagang, Subai left with Yanran. Jiagang attempted to follow, but his father stopped him, placing a firm hand on his shoulder. Uncle Han ordered Jiagang to maintain a good relationship with Subai, hinting that the future of the Han family might depend on it. Confused, Jiagang asked if Subai and Yanran were really that important. His father gave no clear answer, only emphasizing the need to tread carefully around Yanran. 2 days later, at the Marshall University campus training ground, the freshmen gathered for a special announcement. They were informed that the next few days would be dedicated to freshman special training, and the designated location was the battlefield of myriad races. The students murmured among themselves, concerned about the danger of such a place. Instructor Zhang Kai addressed their concerns, assuring them that failing the special training wouldn't result in death. He explained that the training area had already been cleared and their safety was guaranteed. He further instructed that every 50 students would form a class, each led by a bronze-level instructor who would oversee their tasks. Wishing them success, Zhang Kai concluded his briefing. Excited, Yanran ran over to Subai, happily announcing that they had been assigned to the same class. Subai, slightly suspicious, asked if the arrangement had been intentional. Before Yanran could respond, a red-haired woman with striking red lipstick called for Class 8. She introduced herself as Liao Yuxin, their instructor. Her majestic presence captivated the male students, who were instantly enamored with her. Liao Yuxin wasted no time, informing the class that she would be assigning all tasks during the training. She then delivered their first task, to write a will. The students turned pale at her words, worried about the seriousness of the situation. One student voiced his concern, mentioning that he had a family legacy to uphold, while another expressed how much she still wanted to say. Liao Yuxin, unfazed by their reactions, gave them 1 day to complete their wills and instructed them to gather at the teleportation plaza the next morning at 8 a.m. She warned them not to be late. Yanran asked Subai about his plans for the night. Subai replied that he didn't have much to prepare and would head back to the dorm. Yanran wished him well and said they would see each other tomorrow before heading to the battlefield. Meanwhile, Jiagang and the others invited Subai to join them for a fun night out, but Subai declined, explaining that he had something to take care of. Jiagang told him to call if he needed anything, and they said their goodbyes. As they left, Jiagang noticed Subai's turtle and knocked on its shell, commenting on how hard it felt. The turtle didn't seem pleased, but Subai went ahead and introduced it, mentioning that it had quite the appetite. After they were gone, Subai decided it was time to feed the turtle properly. He let it eat to its heart's content, knowing that once they were on the battlefield of myriad races, he would need the turtle to show its full potential. The turtle eagerly gulped down the blood key powder, while Subai encouraged it to take its time. Soon, a system window appeared, informing Subai that the turtle had leveled up to an ordinary high-tier beast, and his own level had increased as well. Additionally, the turtle had gained a new talent, Heavy Strike. The turtle's attributes improved significantly, gaining talents like Shell Defense, which drastically boosted its defense when retracted into its shell, Turtle Skin Defense for increased durability, and Heavy Strike to amplify its attack power using stamina. Subai's own stats saw notable growth, enhanced by the turtle's attributes. His constitution, agility, and mentality all increased, and his talents now included unlimited evolution of tamed beasts, Turtle Skin Defense, and Heavy Strike. Impressed by the improvements, Subai praised the turtle and told it they needed to give their best effort tomorrow. The turtle, as if understanding his words, stood on its 2 flippers and raised the other 2, showing off its strength. The next day, all the students gathered at the designated location, ready for battle. They waited for further instructions, and soon Instructor Zhang Kai announced that teleportation array number 1 was activated. He advised everyone to prepare for teleportation. Jiagang, impressed by the sheer size of the array, commented that such a thing could only be found at Marshall University. Yanran, concerned for Subai's safety, told him to be careful. Subai reassured her, telling her not to worry. Liao Yuxin, their instructor, advised them to relax and prepare for teleportation. Moments later, they arrived on the other side, finding themselves inside what appeared to be a military base within the battlefield of myriad races. The students looked around in awe, amazed that they had really been teleported. Liao Yuxin instructed them to quiet down and addressed Deputy Commander Lia Tao, asking him to excuse their inexperience, as they were all new recruits. The Deputy Commander introduced himself as the officer in charge of Military Base F2690. He then briefed them on their first task, cleaning up the battlefield. While doing so, they would also be tasked with clearing out any remaining Shadowcats, low-level monsters that were perfect for first-time recruits. He explained that eliminating Shadowcats would earn them merit points, which they could exchange at the logistics department for blood key powder and various grades of body refinement elixirs to enhance their strength. Jiajun, excited by the opportunity, exclaimed how fortune favored the brave. Jiagang, now understanding the allure of the battlefield, realized why so many people were willing to risk their lives to come here. The deputy commander, noting their eagerness, ordered them to follow him. As they proceeded, they came across wounded soldiers fresh off the battlefield, many missing limbs and clearly in agony. Jiun, horrified, asked if they had been injured while fighting Shadowcats, unable to believe that such low-level monsters could cause such harm. The sight caused many students to worry. Liao Yuxin quickly silenced them and asked what their expectations of the battlefield had been. She reminded them that by applying to Marshall University, they had signed up for danger and needed to always be prepared to face it. Yanran, concerned for Su Bai, told him to stay by her side, promising that she wouldn't let anything happen to him. Su Bai, realizing the gravity of the situation, agreed and told her to be careful as well. He knew that in the battlefield of myriad races, they would need to remain alert at all times. A soldier reported to the deputy commander that they were currently executing their task of guarding the northern gate of the camp. That day, they had successfully killed 35 beasts that attempted to breach the camp, and they were now awaiting further orders. The deputy commander instructed them to open the gates so the new recruits could witness firsthand what the battlefield of myriad races truly looked like. As the gate opened, Liao Yuxin turned to the recruits and reminded them that it was a rare opportunity to have Deputy Commander Lia Tao personally leading the team. She urged everyone to perform well. The deputy commander asked if the recruits had submitted their wills at the office, emphasizing that from this moment on, they would be living in constant company with death. The scene outside was chaotic. Cannons fired relentlessly as monstrous beasts launched attacks. The students were shocked by the brutality of the battlefield. Soldiers nearby noticed the deputy commander's presence and greeted him, asking why he had personally come. In response, the deputy commander requested a squad to accompany them and ensure the safety of the trainees. Liao Yuxin gathered the recruits' attention and informed them that their mission was to head to military zone F2690 and extract the beast cores from the fallen Shadowcats on the battlefield. The deputy commander asked if they were ready, and they responded with determination. The group moved out, flanked by an assault squad tasked with their protection. As they marched, one soldier remarked that while cleaning up a battlefield wasn't particularly dangerous, sending new recruits into actual combat felt more like offering food to the enemy. Out of curiosity, he asked the deputy commander why he was personally leading the protection team. The deputy commander curtly replied that the soldier shouldn't concern himself with matters beyond his rank. Liao Yuxin thanked the deputy commander for taking the trouble to protect them, to which he responded that it was his duty, as these recruits from the military university were the future soldiers of the nation. Meanwhile, at the Dragon Nation's highest military command center in the imperial capital, an officer reported an urgent situation to the chief of staff. A recent report from the battlefield of myriad races indicated a large-scale beast invasion targeting their defense line. The attack involved 12 golden-level members of the Shadowcat clan and threatened 12 southwest border military bases, including D-128 and D-140. The chief of staff ordered an immediate assessment of the beast's movements and instructed all military bases to bolster their defenses. He emphasized that the first-year students from various Marshall universities currently undergoing training in the battlefield of myriad races were the nation's future and must not suffer any casualties. Back at military zone F2690, Su Bai was thrilled at the prospect of collecting beast cores, already planning to exchange them for blood key powder to help his turtle level up again. Suddenly, a system window appeared, warning Su Bai of extreme danger. 164 Shadowcats were rapidly approaching from the southwest, with clear hostility. The system marked the threat level as 5 stars, indicating extreme danger. Alarmed, Su Bai informed Yanran, who immediately noticed his rattled state. Without wasting time, he approached Liao Yuxin, explaining that a large group of fierce beasts was closing in on them from the southwest. Liao Yuxin, perched on a branch, scanned the surroundings, but found nothing unusual. Annoyed, she scolded him for causing unnecessary panic and asked if he understood the consequences of alarming the recruits without evidence. Su Bai insisted he wasn't joking, reiterating that a large group of fierce beasts was indeed approaching. The deputy commander intervened, confidently stating that there were no beasts within 2 kilometers. Su Bai argued that his senses detected 100 Shadowcats about 3 kilometers away, implying that his abilities might surpass the deputy commander's detection range. Liao Yuxin attempted to defuse the tension, suggesting that Su Bai might have been overly nervous due to it being his first time on the battlefield. She advised him not to take the criticism personally. Yanran, however, stood by Su Bai, urging everyone not to jump to conclusions without clarity. She expressed her firm belief in Su Bai's warning. Determined, Su Bai revealed that he was a beast tamer with a special crisis sense, pleading with them to trust him. This revelation surprised Liao Yuxin, who questioned why the school hadn't registered his abilities. Su Bai explained that he had been recommended to Marshall University, so his abilities hadn't been officially recorded. As murmurs spread among the recruits, they struggled to believe that Subai had such an ability, especially since they hadn't even seen his beast. Just then, a student came running, shouting that shadow cats had arrived, confirming Subai's warning. Chaos ensued as the deputy commander ordered everyone to gather around him and set up a defensive formation. The group moved as quickly as possible, while the deputy commander instructed the communications officer to contact the base for immediate support. The response came swiftly. The base had detected numerous signs of fierce beasts in the surrounding area and was unable to send reinforcements. Yuxin, concerned about the students' limited combat ability, asked Li Dao if there were indeed hundreds of fierce beasts approaching. The deputy commander confirmed that Subai's sensing was accurate, as he could now sense the large group of beasts closing in rapidly. Acknowledging the danger, the deputy commander ordered the vice squad leader to assign 4 soldiers to protect Yanran and Subai at all costs. Subai, unwilling to be sidelined, shouted that he didn't need protection and could fight. Suddenly, a bronze-level shadow cat appeared, launching a fierce attack. The squad counterattacked with a single goal: to protect the students. However, the shadow cat took down several men in one swift strike. One soldier, clearly shaken, remarked that the beasts resembled tigers more than cats. The deputy commander urged the defensive line to hold firm, reminding the soldiers of their oath to build an unbreakable great wall for Dragon Nation with their chests. As the shadow cats charged, the defensive barrier trembled under the impact. Just then, 2 figures joined the battle: Zhang Mani, a bronze-level archer, and Luo Yongyang, a naturally strong bronze-level warrior. Their sudden appearance turned the tide of the battle. Relieved by the reinforcements, Yuxin praised the duo, noting that the recruits for this year were truly formidable. Subai, impressed by their prowess, couldn't help but compare their weapons to his own. The students marveled at how quickly the situation had shifted in their favor. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed across the battlefield as a ferocious beast emerged, a shadow cat king at silver level. Its stats were intimidating: 45 in physique, 88 in agility, and 43 in mental strength. Alarmed, the deputy commander immediately instructed the communications officer to request support again. Yongyang charged at the beast while Manny attempted to distract it, but Yuxin, recognizing the danger, yelled for them to retreat. The Shadow Cat King unleashed a powerful wind blade, knocking Manny to the ground and forcing Yongyang to his knees. As Yuxin screamed for them to fall back, the gunners provided cover fire. The Shadow Cat King, undeterred, lunged at the injured Manny. Just as it seemed hopeless, something struck the Shadow Cat King square in the face. Everyone turned to see what had happened. Yuxin identified the object as a turtle, and Jiagang, spotting Subai, realized it was his doing. Subai, slightly embarrassed by his unconventional entrance, introduced himself and his beast. He instructed the others to handle the smaller shadow cats while he dealt with the Shadow Cat King. The students couldn't help but wonder if the turtle was truly that impressive. Yanran, seeing Subai's tamed beast for the first time, finally understood its significance. As the Shadow Cat King prepared to attack, Subai urged his turtle to show its strength. The turtle dashed forward with unexpected speed, leaving everyone questioning if it was really still a turtle. Even the deputy commander and Yuxin were taken aback by the display of power. Yuxin admitted that Subai's method of taming was quite different from the norm. While Subai kept the Shadow Cat King occupied, Yuxin ordered the students to focus on eliminating the remaining shadow cats. With morale high, they launched a coordinated attack. Meanwhile, the Shadow Cat King raised its massive paw and attempted to slash the turtle, only for its claw to break upon impact. The deputy commander watched in disbelief, realizing that Subai's tamed beast possessed an insanely high defense. Snapping out of his shock, the deputy commander rallied his soldiers and decided to finish off the Shadow Cat King while it was distracted. He aimed for its weak spot, the abdomen, and leapt into action. Though he managed to stab it, the beast retaliated with its tail, forcing him to retreat. Annoyed that he had missed his chance, he prepared for another attack, fully aware that his life was on the line. At that moment, Subai asked his turtle to use its ultimate move. The students, puzzled by the sight of the turtle spinning in place, watched curiously. Subai, having read about the Shadow Cat King's weak spot in a book, waited for the perfect moment. When the timing was right, he kicked the spinning turtle towards the Shadow Cat King. The turtle hit its target with precision, striking the beast directly in its abdomen. The Shadow Cat King coughed up blood and collapsed, unable to support itself any longer. It wasn't long before the beast fell to the ground, lifeless. The battlefield erupted in cheers as the students celebrated the fall of the Shadow Cat King. The deputy commander, still in disbelief, muttered that they had actually won. Yanran ran to Subai and hugged him tightly, praising him for his incredible feat of defeating a silver-level Shadow Cat King. Subai, still processing the events, wasn't entirely sure if it was truly over. Other students gathered around Subai, amazed by his feat. One of them even asked where he got the turtle, eager to find one for himself. Meanwhile, Subai noticed his turtle sneaking off and grabbing a yellow gem. Without hesitation, the turtle swallowed it. The deputy commander glanced at the sky, his expression turning serious as he realized the danger looming ahead. The Cat King's final howl had summoned more of its kind. He speculated that an even stronger beast was on its way. At the base operations center, frontline energy wave analysis confirmed the presence of numerous high-level beasts approaching F269 base. The situation was dire. To make matters worse, it was revealed that Hulin's daughter was among the group of trainees. Yuan confirmed the report, urging immediate reinforcement. The chief of staff quickly ordered a scout company to be dispatched and decided to head to the battlefield himself. He acknowledged the gravity of the situation, knowing that if Hulin lost control, the entire Django region would be at risk. He ordered the reinforcements to arrive within 20 minutes. Dark clouds gathered, concealing a ferocious creature that glared down at the humans below. To everyone's shock, the creature spoke in human language. Yuxin couldn't believe what she was hearing. The deputy commander, alarmed, explained that a beast capable of human speech must be at least golden level and had no business appearing in this area. He immediately commanded everyone to form a defensive formation, placing the injured in the center. The shadowy beast descended, landing beside the fallen Shadow Cat King. It radiated fury, enraged by the slaughter of its kin. Without hesitation, it devoured the dead Cat King. At that moment, Subai received a system warning. A golden-level beast was nearby, carrying a 5-star lethal threat. The system urged him to retreat immediately. The mutated Shadow Cat King had terrifying stats: 272 Constitution, 345 Agility, and 275 Mentality. Additionally, when injured, it entered a berserk state, doubling its agility and attack while halving its defense. The students were terrified. Even their teachers had never faced a golden-level beast, and without reinforcements, their chances looked grim. The deputy commander ordered the wounded to be evacuated, while he stayed behind to buy time. Charging forward, he attempted to engage the mutated Shadow Cat King, but in a single strike, the beast sent him crashing to the ground. Subai, realizing the gravity of the situation, urged his turtle to protect the deputy commander. Courageously, the turtle stood in the beast's path. The mutated Shadow Cat King noticed the toughness of the turtle's shell and attempted to scratch it, but to no avail. The deputy commander, watching from a distance, grew increasingly worried. At the same time, Subai coughed up blood, alarming Yanran, who immediately noticed his injury. Yuxin, puzzled by how Subai could be hurt without being directly attacked, speculated that it might be due to a rare beast-to-mare talent called Origin Confluence. Initially skeptical, she decided to investigate further. A system window confirmed that the turtle was in critical condition, triggering the activation of Origin Confluence. This talent allowed the beast tamer and their tamed beast to share energy and jointly bear damage. After examining Subai, Yuxin found no external wounds, realizing that the legendary skill had indeed been activated. She explained the situation to the others, urging them to support Subai, who was currently enduring the attacks meant for his turtle. Jiagang agreed, insisting they couldn't let Subai fight alone. Meanwhile, the mutated Shadow Cat King mocked them, calling them insignificant ants. Despite the taunt, the students charged forward, determined to fight. However, Yuxin noticed the beast bypassing them, heading straight for Subai. Yanran quickly shielded him with her body. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoed across the battlefield. Yanran looked at Subai in surprise as he grinned, revealing that the crystallization of the mutated Shadow Cat King had finally been absorbed. The turtle evolved to Bronze Tier, activating 10% of its deity bloodline, which enhanced all its attributes and unlocked new talents. Its abilities included Turtle Barrier for increased defense, Turtle Spirit Possession to boost both attack and defense, and Gravity to apply a powerful gravitational force on enemies. As a large golden spirit emerged from the turtle's body, Yuxin was stunned, unable to believe that Subai's beast had evolved to such an extent. The deputy commander, noticing the golden light, speculated that it might be an epic-level tamed beast. Subai managed to stand, and Yanran noticed how quickly his injuries had healed. Subai assured her that he was feeling fine, wasting no time as he commanded his turtle to defeat the mutated Shadow Cat King. The battle intensified as the golden spirit from the turtle clashed with the mutated beast. Observing the fight, the deputy commander remarked on how astonishing it was for a Bronze Tier tamed beast to exude such immense pressure, concluding that its bloodline must be exceptionally high. Everyone was stunned when the turtle knocked the mutated Shadow Cat King away. Infuriated, the Shadow Cat King mutated further, screaming that it wanted everyone dead. In its berserk state, it summoned several dark shadow cats to aid it, intent on ensuring no one escaped. Subai quickly ordered his turtle to stop the advancing horde. In response, the golden turtle spirit let out a loud noise, freezing the shadow cats in their tracks. To everyone's surprise, the shadow cats retreated in fear. The turtle spirit then inhaled deeply, resembling a scene straight out of Kirby, as Subai encouraged it to unleash its full power without holding back. It gathered a concentrated energy in its mouth and unleashed a powerful wave, obliterating the mutated Shadow Cat King. As the dust settled, reinforcements arrived. Yuan, leading the group, was surprised to find that the battle was already over. Surveying the chaotic battlefield, He could only imagine the ordeal everyone had endured. The deputy commander promptly ordered the soldiers to begin clearing the area. Approaching Yanran, Yuan expressed relief that she was unharmed. Yuxin asked Yuan why he had personally come. The deputy commander introduced himself and explained that during the battle, one of his squads had collaborated with the university mentors and students to fend off a large group of shadow cats. He reported that they had killed approximately 800 shadow cats, including several bronze tier, 1 silver tier, and 1 gold tier creature. They were now tallying casualties and tending to the seriously injured. Yuan found it hard to believe that a gold-level beast had appeared and been defeated. Inspecting the aftermath, he remarked on the incredibility of the victory. The deputy commander credited Subai and his tamed beast for slaying the gold-level beast. Yuan turned to Subai, asking if he was truly the one responsible. Subai humbly replied that it had been a joint effort involving himself, the deputy commander, and the mentors, emphasizing that it wasn't solely his accomplishment. Yuan appreciated Subai's humility and extended an invitation for him to join Django Fortress after graduating from university, even offering to personally guide him. Subai thanked him, but admitted that he hadn't made a decision yet. With the battlefield cleared, the deputy commander reported to Yuan, who ordered everyone to return to base. He instructed the students to line up and enter the portal in an orderly manner, reminding them to continue their training diligently. He praised them as the strongest group to have ever undergone such a trial. Standing aside, the deputy commander and Yuxin watched as the students filed through the portal. The deputy commander expressed admiration for the group, particularly Subai, noting his great potential. Yuxin agreed, adding that Subai was already powerful despite being just a freshman. Before parting ways, the deputy commander thanked Subai, acknowledging that he owed him his life. Yuxin also bid farewell. Back at Marshall University, the students were greeted with cheers and banners welcoming them as heroes. Flowers were handed out in celebration. One student, feeling flustered, muttered that Subai was the real hero, while the rest of them had merely been cannon fodder. Another agreed, relieved simply to have made it back alive. A third student, reflecting on the ordeal, admitted that if it weren't for the loss of so many classmates, the entire experience would have felt like a dream. Kai addressed the group, informing them that he was already aware of their heroic actions on the battlefield. He declared that their assessment results would be the highest in university history. Subai, however, wasn't too concerned about the results. All he wanted was to return to the dorm, take a shower, and get a good night's sleep. As night fell, the students settled into their dorms, savoring the comfort of their beds. One of them commented on how soft the bed felt, joking that he felt as if he had been sealed into it. Chowan, curious, asked whether they had truly accomplished something significant this time, and where their military achievements would be counted. Jiagang, less optimistic, remarked that their collective military achievement was minimal compared to Subai's. He pointed out that Subai's feat of taking down the gold-level beast alone could be exchanged for a wealth of training resources. Jiagang then turned to Subai, asking what kind of turtle he had. He expressed a desire to get a pet as well, admitting that just looking at Subai's turtle made him feel at ease. Amusingly, at that very moment, Ba was dreaming of kissing a female turtle. A few hours later, a loud knock on the door stirred the dorm. Jiagang, still groggy from sleep, shuffled toward the door, wondering who could be knocking so early. He opened it to find 4 unfamiliar girls standing outside. They introduced themselves as seniors from the Jiangwu Student Council and announced that they had brought breakfast for the heroes who had returned from the battlefield. Their eyes scanned the room as they asked who among them was Subai. Jiagang, eager to impress, quickly accepted the lunchboxes and assured the girls that they wouldn't let their kind gesture go to waste. The girls, however, seemed more interested in meeting Subai. One of them asked again where he was, hoping to take a photo with him. Chowan pointed at Subai's bed, explaining that he had gone out for a morning run. Disappointed, one of the girls lamented that there wasn't a single person at school who didn't know Subai. It was just a pity that he didn't know her. Curious, Jiajun asked if Subai had really become that famous. The girls suggested they turn on the TV to see for themselves. As they switched on the television, one of the girls, still annoyed by Subai's absence, took her breakfast box back. Meanwhile, Subai, in the middle of his morning run, paused when he noticed a large crowd gathered around a public screen. The news anchor on the military channel was reporting an incident from the previous day. According to the broadcast, several military bases across the country had been attacked by tens of thousands of fierce beasts. Among these attackers were golden-level beasts with immense combat power. Despite heavy casualties suffered by students from various provinces, the instructors and students of Django Marshall University had managed to fend off the beasts. The anchor highlighted the remarkable feat achieved during the battle. A first-year student named Subai had held back a golden-level ferocious beast long enough for the combined forces of instructors and bronze-level experts to defeat it. The report concluded with an announcement that the nation's military had decided to award the participants of Django Marshall University a second-class merit and the Great Wall Silver Medal. Moreover, due to his outstanding contributions, Subai was to be honored with first-class merit and awarded the prestigious Great Wall Golden Medal. Hearing this, Subai stood frozen in shock. Around him, the students who had overheard the news erupted in excitement. They couldn't believe that a freshman had earned such a distinguished award. Many expressed their admiration and eagerness to meet him. Realizing that he was attracting too much attention, Subai quietly slipped away from the crowd. Moments later, his phone rang. It was his sister, Xiaomei, calling to share the news. Subai cut her off, saying he had already seen it. Xiaomei then relayed a message from their parents. They wanted him to come home so they could celebrate his achievement. He initially declined, but after hearing his father's voice expressing pride and his mother mentioning how their third uncle's little sister wanted to introduce him to a potential girlfriend, he gave in. Xiaomei teased that with Subai's newfound fame, their father would probably be laughing in his sleep. Subai sighed, agreeing to visit since he had a 2-day break. He quickly packed his things, ready to head home. As the sun set, Subai arrived in his hometown, only to be greeted by a large crowd of neighbors gathered outside his house. He was taken aback by the enthusiastic welcome and asked if everyone had been waiting just for him. His family, beaming with pride, ushered him inside while the neighbors cheered and invited him over to their houses. Subai's father thanked everyone for their support and announced that he had prepared a feast at home. Once the kids were rested, they would visit the neighbors. Auntie, one of the neighbors, invited Subai to her house, hinting at introducing him to her granddaughter. Another uncle chimed in, arguing that Auntie's granddaughter wasn't worthy of Subai and suggesting someone else instead. Finally inside the house, Subai sighed, joking that if he had known this would happen, he would have snuck in after dark. Xiaomei laughed, pointing out that Auntie had set up surveillance at their door, determined to introduce her granddaughter to him. Their father announced he would handle the cooking, while their mother urged Subai to rest. Dropping his bag on the sofa, Subai sank into the cushions, relieved to finally take a break. Just as he began to relax, a familiar system window appeared before him. It detected a contractible creature nearby, a little kitten. Subai's beast tamer instincts kicked in as he realized this was a rare opportunity. Xiaomei noticed Subai staring at the kitten and asked what was wrong. Subai immediately questioned whether their family had gotten a cat. She pointed toward the small feline and casually mentioned that she had found it on the road a few days ago and decided to bring it home. Subai, not too thrilled, asked if they could get a more high-end pet next time. Xiaomei, clearly fond of the kitten, defended it, insisting it was adorable. Realizing how attached she was to it, Subai didn't push further but silently activated his Beastmaster skill. The status window revealed that the seemingly ordinary kitten carried the White Tiger Sacred Beast bloodline, granting it infinite growth potential with the power to eventually slay gods. Currently, its stats were low, but its talent, Sharp Claws, doubled its attack speed and power, and its evolution method was simply eating. Subai was stunned. How could a stray cat possess such a formidable lineage? Xiaomei noticed how interested Subai was in the kitten and became defensive, hugging it tightly. When Subai asked if he could keep it, she refused outright. Trying a different approach, Subai suggested they negotiate. Despite offering her a brand new laptop, Xiaomei didn't budge. The two chased each other around the living room as Subai tried various bribes, but she remained adamant. 2 days later, Subai returned to the academy, carrying both his turtle and the newly tamed kitten, Little Bai. Their arrival caused a stir, with people speculating that he must be a cat lover. Subai introduced the school to Little Bai, promising to protect it. However, Little Bai didn't seem too happy, grumbling about the turtle crowding its space. As Subai passed through the campus, students gossiped about him. Despite his average appearance, many girls had visited his dorm looking for him, leaving Subai wondering whether he should start wearing a mask when going out. Just then, the speakers blared, requesting his presence at the principal's office. Sighing in frustration, he wondered what the principal wanted this time. At the office, the principal greeted him warmly, praising his outstanding performance during the F2690 battle. Subai politely attributed his success to the school's support. Internally, however, he was already preparing to negotiate for some resources. Knowing the principal's stingy reputation, he braced himself. Feigning humility, Subai requested 100 golden tier beast cores, claiming they were essential for his training. The principal, shocked by the audacity of the request, retorted that even if he smashed his old bones into dust, he couldn't afford that. Annoyed, he sarcastically offered Subai his position instead. Subai quickly countered, lowering his demand to 100 silver tier beast cores. The principal still refused, calling the request absurd. Switching tactics, Subai sweetly reminded the principal of the sacrifices he made for the school. After much back and forth haggling, the principal finally agreed to give him 15 bronze tier beast cores, though he muttered under his breath about Subai being a cunning little rascal. Once the deal was settled, the principal informed Subai about another matter. He had been selected as the freshman representative for the 100 Schools League. Subai immediately protested, accusing the principal of using the reward as bait to force him into participating. The principal dismissed his complaints, emphasizing that as a student of Django Marshall University, it was his duty to bring honor to the school. To sweeten the deal, the principal mentioned that the league offered generous rewards, though Subai remained skeptical, pointing out how tough the competition would be. Unfazed, the principal called him timid and sent him off, instructing him to report to the training room the next morning. As Subai left, he reflected on the rumors about the principal being a cunning old fox. After this encounter, he was certain those rumors were true. The next day, inside the training room, the principal stood before a group of students and faculty, addressing the upcoming 100 Schools League. He explained that although their school, Django Martial University, didn't receive as many resources as prestigious institutions like Imperial City Martial University and Magic City Martial University, he still hoped they could achieve outstanding results. Roll call began, starting with Hu Qing-shu, a third-year Bronze Intermediate Wood Ability user. The list continued with familiar names, Bai Ningbing, Zhong Tianxiang, and Feng Zhuge. Luo Yongqiang voiced frustration, noting that Django Martial University was established much later than the elite schools, meaning their training resources had always been lacking. Manny chimed in, mentioning how their school's rankings in previous years had consistently been low. When Subai's name was called, he responded, followed by Manny and Yongqiang. Once the roll call ended, the principal made a surprising announcement. Subai was chosen as the captain of their team for this year's league. Subai immediately protested, claiming there must be a mistake, but the principal firmly explained that the decision had been made after careful deliberation by the school committee. Bai Ningbing was quick to object, reasoning that senior Hu Qing-shu was far more qualified, given his superior strength and experience. Zhong Tianxiang added that Subai, being only a bronze beginner-level power user, was an entire rank below Hu Qing-shu, making him an unsuitable choice. They questioned why a freshman should lead the team. The principal reminded them of the recent news coverage. He pointed out that Subai had demonstrated the strength to kill a gold-tier vicious beast. He challenged them, if any of them could accomplish the same feat, he would immediately replace Subai as captain. Bai Ningbing scoffed, insisting that Subai's victory must have been pure luck. Subai tried to explain that he wasn't involved in the decision, but it was clear his seniors weren't buying it. Inwardly, he lamented how he had become the target of criticism overnight. The principal ended the session, instructing everyone to prepare, as there were less than 20 days left until the league. He expressed his hope for a strong performance from the team. Meanwhile, Subai couldn't help but think how fast the principal had bolted after delivering the news. Tianxiang called after him, asking where he was headed. Subai started running, shouting back that he had something urgent to do at the dorm. Bai Ningbing labeled him a coward, adamant that Subai couldn't have been responsible for killing the gold-tier beast. Zhong Tianxiang assured Bai Ningbing that once they were in the league, they would make sure Subai regretted everything. A few hours later, Subai addressed his turtle, Ba, promising a treat. He noted how the principal had kept his word, delivering 15 bronze-tier beast cores. He asked Ba if that would be enough for an upgrade. As the little foodie began eating, Subai noticed his kitten, Little Bai, trying to get in on the action. He reassured the kitten that there was something for him too, and started him off with key blood elixir since his level was still too low. Ba, meanwhile, seemed disappointed when his food bowl emptied quickly. He chased after the bag, prompting Subai to complain about how expensive Ba's appetite was. Realizing Ba was still hungry, Subai wondered just how much the turtle needed to evolve. He reluctantly gave Ba the remaining beast cores, deciding that if Ba didn't evolve soon, he would prioritize feeding Little Bai instead. As Ba continued eating, he began to glow. The ground shook, causing students nearby to wonder if there was an earthquake. A system window appeared, congratulating Subai on his turtle's successful upgrade to bronze intermediate level. Along with the upgrade, Subai's level also increased. Ba's status showed major enhancements, with 30% of the Xuanwu Black Tortoise bloodline activated. Its talents were upgraded. Xuanwu Barrier formed a shield-boosting defense by 500%. Turtle Spirit Possession increased attack by 200% and defense by 300% using stamina. And Gravity either pulled enemies closer or slowed them down significantly. Subai marveled at Ba's evolution. Although the number of talents hadn't increased, their potency had significantly improved. The turtle's attributes were now on a whole new level, leaving Subai both relieved and excited. Little Bai leveled up to high-level Normal Awakening, showcasing significant improvements. Despite its small and ordinary appearance, the kitten carried the rare White Tiger Sacred Beast bloodline, capable of infinite growth and god-slaying power. Its talents included Sharp Claws for doubling attack speed and power, Bloodthirst for massively boosting attack power based on damage taken, and Ghostly Phantom Step for dramatically increasing movement speed by consuming blood energy. Subai was thrilled with the kitten's explosive growth, especially its high agility, noting that both Little Bai and Ba had successfully completed their upgrades. Now, it was his turn. Subai's status window showed he had advanced to bronze intermediate level, with significant attribute boosts from his tamed beasts. His constitution, agility, and spirit were greatly enhanced through their contributions. His talents included infinite evolution of contracted beasts, access to all beast tamer talents, and origin confluence, allowing energy sharing and joint damage bearing with his tamed beasts. With his upgraded stats and talents, Subai felt ready to showcase his skills at the 100 Schools League. At the Jiangju Martial University Library, Subai was surprised by its vast size. The librarian proudly explained that the library had been established before the university itself and served as the cornerstone of Jiangju's heritage. She was also impressed to see a freshman already holding 180 credits. Pointing to the right, she directed Subai to the Beast Tamer section, allowing him to browse freely. Subai thanked her and began exploring the shelves, finding a substantial collection of books on beast taming. Realizing it would take a long time to go through them all, he noticed a particular book authored by Luo Fan. The name sounded familiar, piquing his curiosity. As he flipped through its pages, he read phrases like, "Heavens and earth converge," "The undying soul," and "Divine weapons gather." It detailed 3 divine skills: Origin Confluence, Sacred Beasts Armed, and Undying Soul, which Luo Fan had created. Subai, having already mastered Origin Confluence, was intrigued by the mention of Sacred Beasts Armed and Undying Soul. While reading, Subai learned that Luo Fan had once single-handedly fought against an invasion of all tribes. Though he managed to hold them off for a time, he was eventually overwhelmed by their sheer numbers and perished on the battlefield. Subai felt it was a pity that such a powerful figure met such an end. As he absorbed the information, something strange happened. The book began to float, and a mysterious force seemed to flow into his body. Curious, Subai approached the librarian, requesting to borrow the book. Upon inspection, she noticed that the book lacked a classification label, meaning it wasn't officially part of the library's collection. Subai insisted that he had found it on the shelf and had been reading it just moments ago. Strangely, when she tried to open it, the book wouldn't budge. Subai, however, was able to open it effortlessly. The librarian, puzzled, allowed him to keep the book and return it whenever he was done. After Subai left, the librarian immediately contacted the principal, informing him about the peculiar incident. The principal, astonished by the news, confirmed that Subai had taken the book and deemed the situation as promising. Once the call ended, he spoke to the heir, addressing Luo Fan directly. He remarked that the person Luo Fan had been waiting for over a century had finally appeared and speculated that if Luo Fan's spirit in the underworld knew, it would be overjoyed. 2 weeks later, the 100 Schools League was set to begin. The competition was divided into 5 major battle zones: East, South, West, North, and Central, with 2 qualifying teams emerging from each zone. A reporter announced that the 8 martial universities of Jiang Province would gather at Jiangju Martial University for the event. Meanwhile, a vlogger shared his excitement with his audience, mentioning how tickets for this year's league were incredibly scarce. He promised to livestream the whole event and encouraged his viewers to send small gifts in support. As the teams made their way toward the arena, students from Fuan and Longying Martial University exchanged taunts, each side trying to outdo the other in bravado. The arena itself resembled a massive baseball field, its tiled center gleaming under the bright lights. Yuxin did a quick head count and noticed that one crucial member was missing: Subai. Qingshu confirmed that everyone else was present, but Tianxiang couldn't resist questioning whether their captain might have chickened out at the last second. Right on cue, Subai made his entrance, casually announcing that he wouldn't dare to back out. Yuxin immediately noticed a significant change in Subai's aura. His strength had grown noticeably in just a few days. He confidently stated that he was ready, reassuring Yuxin that he had the lineup all figured out. Just as the match was about to begin, the event's host took the stage and addressed the crowd. He reminded everyone of the recent large-scale attacks by the myriad beast clans, recounting how smaller groups of vicious beasts had bypassed the front lines to attack several provinces' rear military bases. The student stationed there had suffered devastating losses, with less than 1% surviving. Fired up, the host asked the crowd if they were ready to avenge their fallen comrades. The arena erupted in thunderous shouts of agreement, fueling the charged atmosphere. Building on the crowd's energy, the host declared the opening of the Jiangzhou Provincial League. He explained that the competition would follow a team battle format, where each match allowed up to 5 participants per team. The rules were simple. The loser would be eliminated, and the winner would continue fighting until one team was entirely knocked out. With that, the matchups were drawn, and it was revealed that Longying Martial University would face off against Jinmen Martial University in the first round. Meanwhile, Qingshu noted that their team had drawn Qingyun Martial University as their first opponent. Yuxin looked concerned since Longying and Shinmen were already preparing, while their team hadn't finalized their lineup. Just then, the principal arrived, inquiring if Subai had sorted out the lineup. Subai grinned smugly and declared that he would go first, and the rest of the team could figure out the order themselves. Qingshu and Yuxin's reactions were priceless. They looked as if Subai had just said the most ridiculous thing imaginable. Qing Shu quickly suggested a more strategic approach, proposing targeted matchups based on Qing Yun's lineup. Tianxiang voiced his doubts, predicting that Subai might lose and embarrass Jiangzhou Martial University. Unfazed, Subai reassured them that he wouldn't disappoint. The principal, noticing Subai's rapid improvement, silently praised his comprehension abilities. Leaning in, the principal whispered a piece of advice. Don't overshadow the seniors too much, or they might hold a grudge. Subai simply smirked in response. As the match between Xinmin and Longying concluded, Xinmin Martial University emerged victorious in record time, leaving Yuxin impressed by their strength. It was now Jiangzhou Martial University's turn to take the stage. Subai stepped forward, prompting scoffs from Tianxiang, who doubted his capabilities. From the sidelines, Yanran and Jiagong cheered him on enthusiastically. Subai and his opponent met at the center of the arena. His opponent, a red-haired guy who introduced himself as Qing Yun's squad captain, Ling Feng, immediately recognized Subai as the freshman who had slain the gold-tier vicious beast. Without missing a beat, Subai confirmed it. Ling Feng, making his arm as hard as rock, prepared for combat, confident in his mid-bronze rank abilities. Subai, however, didn't seem impressed. He calmly opened his bag and called out to his turtle, "Ba." Ling Feng laughed mockingly, assuming that Subai had brought a mere household pet to a serious competition. Meanwhile, Subai remained relaxed, munching on some peanuts and sipping cola. His laid-back demeanor confused the crowd, who couldn't comprehend why someone would eat snacks during a high-stakes match. Even Yuxin was baffled by Subai's antics. Tianxiang grew increasingly frustrated, accusing Subai of underestimating his opponent. After all, Ling Feng was a mid-bronze rank, no pushover. Ignoring the murmurs, Subai signaled Ba to get ready, reminding the turtle not to embarrass him after eating so many beast cores. At that moment, Ba released a dazzling beam of light toward the sky. Ling Feng's mocking expression shifted to confusion as he began to realize that the turtle wasn't an ordinary pet. To everyone's astonishment, a massive spiritual form of the turtle appeared before solidifying into its physical form. Gone was the cute, tiny turtle. In its place stood an imposing black tortoise, radiating an overwhelming presence. Ling Feng froze in fear, while the crowd collectively gasped. Cameras clicked rapidly as spectators captured images of the awe-inspiring creature. One onlooker pointed out how the tortoise's shell gleamed like metal armor, while another marveled at its razor-sharp claws. It became clear to everyone that this was no ordinary tamed beast. It was powerful enough to take down a gold-tier creature. All eyes were now on Subai and his formidable partner, Ba, as the match reached a thrilling turning point. The entire arena was left stunned. Even Chowan couldn't hide his shock. He hadn't expected Ba to grow so massive. Meanwhile, Yanren watched proudly, impressed by how much stronger Subai had become. Subai gave his turtle a casual order to wrap things up quickly, and Ba wasted no time, slapping Ling Feng with enough force to send him flying to the other side of the arena. Ling Feng was completely dumbfounded, unable to comprehend how something so large could move that fast. Subai, still munching on peanuts and sipping cola, teased Ling Feng, telling him to hang in there a little longer so he could finish his drink before leaving the stage. Ling Feng, clearly irritated by Subai's arrogance, convinced himself that the earlier blow had been a mere sneak attack. Determined to fight back, he transformed his entire body into shiny golden rock armor and charged forward, using his enhanced strength and rock fists for an all-out assault. Yet, before he could land a single hit, he was once again sent flying, this time right out of the field. It all happened so fast that it felt anticlimactic, leaving the crowd in disbelief. Just like that, Subai had won. The principal watched with a satisfied grin, remarking that the younger generation was truly impressive. Meanwhile, Tianxiang stood frozen, his mouth wide open in disbelief at the turtle's overwhelming strength. In the stands, one spectator mocked Ling Feng, calling him an idiot for failing to dodge such a massive attack. Another bystander chimed in, pointing out that the turtle's size made its speed deceptive. The apparent sluggishness was a trick. Its large mass allowed it to generate incredible power and momentum. The crowd erupted in admiration, marveling at how unstoppable the turtle seemed. Even a mid-tier bronze-level ability user like Ling Feng had been effortlessly defeated. Chowan, still in disbelief, muttered that Ba definitely hadn't been this powerful before. The host officially declared the first match a victory for Jiangzhou Martial University, with Subai emerging as the winner. Next up was Zhang Xuan from Qing Yun Martial University. Relying on her speed, she decided to focus on keeping her distance and using quick strikes to gain an advantage. Like Ling Feng, she was also a mid-tier bronze rank, but her strategy was entirely different. Zhang Xuan darted around the arena with incredible agility, determined not to let the giant turtle get too close. As the fight began, Ba tried to track her movements, but she was too quick. The host excitedly announced how Zhang Xuan was using her speed to stay out of Ba's range while waiting for an opportunity to strike. The crowd, thrilled by the fast-paced action, cheered loudly. One spectator remarked that this was what a proper match should look like, unlike the previous one, where Ling Feng had been utterly humiliated. Zhang Xuan carefully observed the turtle, looking for an opening. Meanwhile, Yuxin noted her strategy, acknowledging that she was dodging skillfully while searching for the right moment to attack. Qingshu, however, couldn't help but comment on how Subai seemed to be underestimating his opponent again. In the middle of all this tension, Subai nonchalantly popped another peanut into his mouth, completely unbothered. Ba, however, wasn't as relaxed. Clearly annoyed, he stomped his massive foot, causing the ground to shake violently. Zhang Xuan quickly leapt over him, deciding to bypass the turtle altogether and go straight for Subai. She sprinted toward him at full speed, confident that it was too late for him to react. But Subai didn't flinch. He calmly took another sip of his cola, appearing entirely satisfied with his drink. Just as Zhang Xuan closed in, ready to strike, she suddenly vanished from sight. The crowd gasped, only to realize that Ba had swatted her away with a casual flick of his tail. Yanren sighed in relief, while Chaowen stared in awe. Even Tian Xiang, who had been skeptical moments earlier, couldn't hide his surprise, admitting that Subai had won yet again, though the outcome felt almost too quick. Yuxin, on the other hand, looked proud of her teammate's performance, while the principal clapped in approval. Zhang Xuan, still processing what had happened, acknowledged that Subai was far stronger than they had given him credit for. Zhang Xuan lay on the ground, cradling her injured arm. Subai, now finished with his snack, casually remarked that he was finally full. He added that Zhang Xuan had gotten too close, so Ba's strike might have been a little over the top. He advised her to get patched up, and moments later, the medical team arrived to escort her off the field. Zhang Xuan, visibly upset, appeared on the verge of tears as she was carried away. With the match over, Subai stood tall, announcing that he was ready to get serious now. He looked around at the remaining competitors and, with a confident smirk, asked who the next challenger would be. Subai had already defeated 2 members of the Qingyun Martial University team when the third opponent stepped into the arena. Without waiting for any instructions, Ba, Subai's little turtle, delivered a devastating blow with its enormous claws, knocking the opponent out in a single move. Subai barely reacted, clearly unimpressed by the ease of victory. By the time the fourth opponent entered the ring, Subai looked downright bored. While Ba handled the match effortlessly, Subai began taking selfies, barely glancing at the fight. The pattern repeated with the fifth opponent, who was also defeated in a single attack from the turtle. The host stepped onto the stage, announcing Jiangzhou Martial University's victory, declaring Subai the winner. The crowd was stunned. Subai had spent the entire match eating peanuts and sipping cola while relying on a turtle to dominate his opponents. The audacity was unmatched, and the crowd loved it. Chaowen, a spectator, coined the nickname 1 man, 5 wins, which quickly caught on among the audience. Girls in the crowd became instant fans, cheering for Subai and his unconventional style. As Subai left the arena, he couldn't help but cringe at his new nickname. It sounded oddly like he was being called a turtle. Returning to his team, Subai was met with applause. Yuxin patted his shoulder, commending him for his performance, while the principal praised him for bringing honor to Jiangzhou Martial University by single-handedly defeating the formidable Qingyun team. Subai thanked everyone for their kind words, maintaining his laid-back demeanor. Yuxin then reminded the team to rest, as the morning matches had concluded, and the second round would commence after lunch. The principal added that the cafeteria was offering free meals to all contestants. Meanwhile, other universities were busy devising strategies. At the Fuchuan Martial University lounge, their principal addressed the team. He predicted that Jiangzhou Martial University would likely send Subai again, and assigned Mao Kai, their poison-type captain, to counter him. Mao Kai, a mid-level bronze-ranked hunter, agreed, planning to use ranged poison attacks to avoid Ba's close combat prowess. Over at Shinmen Martial University, their principal encouraged his students to stay optimistic. He pointed out Subai's weaknesses and emphasized the need to bypass Ba's defenses to target Subai directly. Li Feng, a speed-focused fighter, volunteered to take on Subai, confident that his agility could outmaneuver the turtle. After the lunch break, the host energized the audience with a spirited introduction to the second round. Teams gathered in the arena as the matchups were announced. Jiangzhou Martial University's first opponent was Shinmen Martial University, and Subai was once again selected to take the lead. Li Feng stepped into the arena with a determined expression. Stretching in preparation, he confidently declared that Shinmen had prepared a strategy specifically to counter Subai. In response, Subai, entirely relaxed, advised Li Feng not to be so nervous, assuring him the match would be over quickly. At the signal to begin, Li Feng activated his clear wind step, creating afterimages as he darted around Ba. The turtle swung its massive claws, but every attack missed as Li Feng skillfully dodged. At one point, he landed a powerful kick on Ba, only to find that it didn't even scratch the turtle's defense. The crowd erupted in laughter as Ba, visibly frustrated, roared and swiped repeatedly, unable to land a hit. Girls who had been cheering for Subai earlier began rooting for Li Feng, impressed by his speed and agility. Meanwhile, Subai rummaged through his bag, seemingly uninterested in the fight. Yuxin grew concerned, questioning why Subai wasn't intervening. A senior pointed out that Subai appeared to be searching for something. Sure enough, Subai soon pulled out a cola and began drinking, entirely unconcerned about the match. Lefang continued luring Ba further from Subai, eventually creating enough distance to strike directly at Subai. Confident that victory was within reach, Lefang charged at Subai, shouting that he would make him pay for his arrogance. However, before he could land an attack, Subai casually called out to Ba. A yellow light shot from Ba, immobilizing Lefang mid-air. The audience gasped as the turtle's black tortoise illusion paralyzed its target. Subai, still sipping his cola, instructed Ba to stop playing around and finish the match. The turtle activated its black tortoise gravity, pulling Lefang closer. Then, it began charging energy in its mouth. Lefang, realizing the danger, panicked and pleaded with Subai to stop. Ignoring his cries, Ba unleashed a powerful energy beam, sending Lefang flying into the stadium wall with enough force to create a crater. The crowd sat in stunned silence before erupting in cheers. Spectators who had doubted Subai moments earlier now realized the sheer power of Ba. A bystander remarked that if they were in Lefang's position, they would have surrendered immediately. Facing Subai, he concluded, was an impossible task. With Lefang severely injured, Shinmin Martial University had no choice but to forfeit. The host announced the decision, advancing Jiangzhou Martial University to the next round against Fuchuan Martial University. Back with his team, Yuxin noted that Subai could now conserve his strength for the next match. One senior, frustrated, pointed out that Subai hadn't even needed to exert himself so far. Another commented that the next fight would be interesting, as Fuchuan's captain was a poison-type user, making it a potentially more challenging battle. As Subai and Mao Kai entered the arena, Mao Kai raised a hand, signaling for a pause. Hiding one hand behind his back, Mao Kai admitted that he knew he couldn't beat Subai. However, he proposed a deal, piquing Subai's curiosity. Taking a sip of cola, Subai asked what kind of deal Mao Kai had in mind. Mao Kai cautiously stepped closer to Subai, his tone oddly respectful as he admitted that he might not be able to match Subai in this round. He claimed he wanted to discuss beast taming techniques, which left Subai puzzled. Why would his opponent want to talk shop in the middle of a competition? Suspicion flickered in Subai's mind as he observed Mao Kai's hidden hand and subtle movements. It didn't take long for Subai to piece it together. Mao Kai was stalling for time. Poison-type ability users required extra moments to mobilize their elements, and Mao Kai was no exception. Realizing the trick, Subai immediately ordered Ba, his little turtle, to attack. Mao Kai flinched, his cover blown, but it was already too late. Poison fog erupted from his concealed hand, spreading rapidly toward Ba and Subai. With a confident smirk, Mao Kai declared that not even a divine beast could escape his poison fog. The audience gasped as the fog enveloped the arena. A senior from Subai's team panicked, recalling rumors of Mao Kai poisoning high-level beasts in previous trials. Even Yuxin looked worried, wondering if Subai had underestimated the danger. However, the principal remained calm, assuring everyone that the match wasn't over yet. Inside the fog, Ba instinctively held its breath and closed its eyes to shield itself. Mao Kai moved through the fog effortlessly, convinced of his impending victory. Spotting Subai's shadow seated on the ground, Mao Kai grinned. He assumed Subai was meditating to resist the poison and decided it was time to strike. Mao Kai leapt high for a sneak attack. But just as Mao Kai's claws neared their target, a shield materialized around Subai, blocking the attack effortlessly. Subai smirked, unbothered by the attempted ambush. Mao Kai froze, unable to process what had just happened. How could a beast tamer defend against his full-powered poison claw attack in this fog? Watching from the sidelines, the principal explained that Subai had used a high-level beast tamer talent called Shared Origin. This ability allowed Subai to transfer Ba's defense to himself, a feat that left even the principal impressed. Back in the arena, Subai decided enough was enough. He remarked that the poison fog stank, and it was time to wrap things up. Ba, responding to its master's command, turned toward Mao Kai. Its glowing red eyes pierced through the fog, exposing Mao Kai's location. Panic set in as Mao Kai realized he was exposed, but before he could react, Ba lunged with its claws, sending Mao Kai flying out of the arena. The audience erupted into cheers as Subai secured another victory. Chowan leapt from his seat, shouting that Subai was unstoppable, even against a poison ability user. Yanran, equally thrilled, vowed not to let Subai get too far ahead of her in strength. The crowd continued chanting Subai's nickname, 1 man, 5 wins. The host appeared on the big screen, announcing that Fuchuan Martial University had chosen to forfeit due to Mao Kai's inability to continue. With this, Jiangzhou Martial University was declared the provincial league champion. After the match, Subai returned to his team, where the principal commended him for bringing honor to Jiangzhou Martial University. Subai, always the opportunist, immediately asked if this meant he could receive more resources. The principal, well aware of Subai's antics, dodged the request and changed the topic. He announced that the military would award merit points, which students could exchange for resources at the logistics department. One of Subai's seniors, annoyed, pointed out that since Subai had done all the fighting, the rest of the team didn't exactly feel entitled to the rewards. The principal, flustered, quickly pivoted again, reminding everyone that they would leave for the Warzone League in 3 days. Subai confidently assured him they were ready, but as the principal walked away, Subai muttered about the old fox escaping whenever resources were involved. News outlets quickly picked up on Subai's performance. Highlights of the league aired across the region, with commentators praising his 1 versus 5 victories. Students at Jiangzhou Martial University were amazed to see Subai on TV again, while his fangirls eagerly discussed ways to meet him. Meanwhile, Subai retreated to the university training room, enjoying the quiet. He pulled out his little cat from his bag, promising it a chance to shine in future battles. Using his newly acquired merit points, he exchanged for 4 high-grade silver beast cores and offered one to the cat. Its eyes lit up as it devoured the core, releasing a radiant yellow energy. The system notified Subai that his ordinary bronze-ranked cat had upgraded to a sharp gold-white tiger, activating its sacred beast bloodline. Encouraged, Subai gave it the remaining 3 cores. After consuming them, the cat's body transformed dramatically, growing larger than Subai himself. The system revealed that it had advanced to intermediate bronze level with massively improved stats and enhanced talents. At the same time, in a luxurious mansion in the imperial capital, a man watched Subai's matches on television. Intrigued by Subai's abilities, he ordered his subordinate to investigate, suspecting there was more to the boy and his turtle than met the eye. 3 days later at the Luo Martial University competition, teams from across the country arrived, marveling at the grandeur of the venue. Comments flew about how Luo Martial University's arena was far superior to others. Larger, more extravagant, and undeniably intimidating. When Subai and his team entered, they were greeted by a thunderous crowd cheering exclusively for Luo Martial University. Confused, Subai and his seniors exchanged glances, trying to figure out why the crowd was so one-sided. Their principal quickly explained that it was an intimidation tactic, typical of Luo Martial University. As they continued walking, Subai noticed an empty area and asked why it was vacant. The principal explained that one of the 9 universities had voluntarily forfeited, leaving an odd number of competitors. This meant one university would receive a bye during the random draw, advancing directly to the next round. Subai immediately began praying, not for the bye, but to avoid it. With his turtle and cat to feed, he needed more matches to earn military contributions. To his dismay, his seniors started stepping forward, begging the principal to let them compete. Subai was shocked at their sudden enthusiasm, but watched as the principal reassured everyone that they'd all get a chance to compete. The team reached their seating area, and the principal instructed Subai to handle the draw. A few moments later, the host appeared on the big screen to announce the results. To Subai's horror, Jiangzhou Martial University had drawn the bye. While the principal and Yuxin celebrated their lucky charm, Subai felt his soul leave his body. This was not the luck he wanted. He grumbled to himself, wondering why the universe seemed intent on denying him opportunities to compete. The first match began between Luo Martial University and Fuchuan Martial University. Luo Martial University dominated the arena, their contestant relentlessly pressing the attack. 2 hours later, the host returned to the screen, announcing the end of the first round and preparing to reveal the second round draw results. Shock rippled through the audience when the host revealed that Jiangzhou Martial University had received the bye again. Confusion and disbelief spread like wildfire. A man in the crowd muttered, "What kind of luck is this? They've done nothing but sit around." Another grumbled about traveling all this way just to watch Subai munch on peanuts and sip cola. Some even speculated that Luo Martial University was avoiding a direct clash with Subai, fearing his strength. The military stepped in to address the murmurs, assuring the audience that a thorough investigation had revealed no foul play. The competition would proceed as planned. Subai's principal, however, couldn't contain his excitement. With 2 byes, Jiangzhou Martial University was guaranteed 3rd place in their competition zone, needing only 1 more win to advance to the finals. Meanwhile, Subai was left sulking, lamenting his bad luck. Finally, it was Jiangzhou Martial University's turn to face Lanzhou Martial University. As the team prepared, Subai's seniors swarmed the principal, begging to go first. The principal calmed them down, assigning Luo Yonghao and Bai Ningbing as the first 2 competitors, followed by Wang Qingqing and Hu Qingshu, with Subai reserved for the grand finale. Subai sighed, realizing his chances of competing were slim. Luo Yonghao stepped into the arena, taking on a bronze mid-level opponent despite being at a bronze low level. Despite his best efforts, he narrowly lost. Next, Bai Ningbing stormed onto the stage, entering a berserk state and fighting recklessly, forcing his opponent to retreat and securing a win. The third match featured Wang Qingqing, whose soft whip technique combined offense and defense flawlessly. She sent her opponent flying out of the ring, earning another victory for Jiangzhou Martial University. Yuxin was ecstatic, noting that only 1 more win was needed to secure their spot in the finals. Hu Qingshu confidently entered the arena. inviting the two remaining Lanza Martial University students to fight him together. Enraged, they warned him not to be arrogant, but the host confirmed that the rules allowed it. As the match began, Hu Qingxu summoned a massive spiritual tree behind him, a display of his wood-type ability. With a wave of his finger, razor-sharp leaves flew toward his opponents, cutting through their defenses. Despite their efforts, the Lanza Martial University students struggled under the relentless assault. To end the match, Hu Qingxu gathered hundreds of leaves into a final attack, sending both opponents flying out of the arena. The host announced Jiangzhou Martial University as the winner of the competition zone, advancing alongside Luohe Martial University to the national finals. Returning to their seating area, Hu Qingxu received praise from the principal, who expressed amazement at his growth. The principal then turned to Subai, declaring him the real hero of the competition for drawing 2 consecutive buys. Subai was dumbfounded, certain the principal was mocking him. The principal explained that without the buys, their victory wouldn't have been as effortless. As the team prepared to leave, the principal promised additional resources as rewards. While Subai's seniors celebrated, Subai silently fretted about how to gather resources for his gluttonous pets. Meanwhile, at the Lin family mansion, Yanren practiced against training robots. Her uncle, Wen, arrived to inform her that it was time to eat, but she insisted on practicing for another hour. Sighing, Uncle Wen observed that ever since Subai's matches began airing, Yanren had been training obsessively, neglecting the balance between work and rest. Yanren casually asked her uncle to request more pills from her father, wanting to increase her strength quickly. As Wen left, he muttered about the countless marriage proposals Yanren had rejected and wondered what kind of spell Subai had cast on her. 7 days later, Subai and his team arrived at Magic City Martial Arts University. The first thing that caught everyone's attention was the massive golden gate, gleaming under the sunlight. One senior squinted at the structure, wondering if it was made of actual gold. Another chimed in, marveling at how extravagant it looked, but Subai was unimpressed. He casually remarked that the gate must have cost billions, a complete waste in his opinion. The principal, however, corrected him, revealing the gate's price tag was even higher. 1.8 billion for materials alone, not to mention the 20 gold level and 5 platinum level experts it took to construct it in just one day. He pointed to the university motto etched into the gate, explaining it symbolized their belief that only the strong can protect the nation. As they discussed, a black-haired man approached and introduced himself as Zhang Ming, Vice President of Magic City Martial Arts University's Student Council. After exchanging greetings with the principal, Zhang warmly welcomed Jiangzhou Martial Arts University's delegation and escorted them toward their accommodations. On the way, one senior muttered to another about the perceived slight. They had traveled all this way, and only a student council vice president came to greet them. The other senior agreed, noting that an institution like Imperial City Martial Arts University would have sent their principal for such an occasion. Meanwhile, Subai's attention was drawn to an imposing structure on campus. He asked the principal what it was, and the principal explained it was the Gravity Adjustment Training Ground, capable of training up to 100 silver-level students annually. Subai's casual remark about how their academy could use such a facility struck a nerve with the principal, leaving him visibly pained. Eventually, the group reached their hotel. Zhang explained that it housed a 24-hour buffet on the first floor, serving high-quality beast meat prepared by top chefs to enhance martial artists' blood energy. Subai's eyes lit up at the words, "Unlimited Buffet," and he practically leaped toward the dining area, declaring that his turtle and cat were in for a feast. His enthusiasm left Zhang puzzled, prompting him to ask if Subai had been starving. The seniors warned Zhang about Subai's insatiable appetite, predicting the buffet might be emptied before they had a chance to eat. Realizing the danger, they hurried after him. Zhang stood speechless as the entire group charged toward the food. The next day, the team arrived at the competition venue, awestruck by its sheer size. A senior admitted she had only seen such massive arenas on TV. The principal, already at the venue, scolded them for gawking, telling them to act like they'd been somewhere before. He then explained the competition rules. The finals included 13 schools, with the Great Wall Guard's military academy automatically securing a spot in the top 4, as they were located on the front lines against multiracial invaders. The seniors expressed their frustration at the perceived unfairness, but even Subai admitted that being a battlefield training base made the academy's automatic entry understandable. The principal reminded everyone not to underestimate their opponents, assigning Subai to lead and Hu Qingxu as the anchor. The host appeared on the big screen, announcing the matchups. Jiangzhou Martial Arts University was pitted against Yokohama Martial Arts University in the first match. Seeing this, the principal declared their luck wasn't bad since they avoided the top-tier universities. Before the principal could decide the lineup, Subai volunteered to go first. He claimed it was to show their school's determination, but in reality, he was just eager to earn military merit for himself. As the match began, a student from Yokohama Martial Arts University taunted Subai, declaring that their journey would end here. Subai ignored him, casually pulling his little turtle from his bag and instructing it to finish this quickly. The turtle transformed immediately, roaring as it grew larger. The audience buzzed with excitement, some amazed at its sheer size, while others, seeing it for the first time, questioned whether such a creature was even allowed in the competition. The Yokohama student, visibly panicked, accused Tsubai of cheating. Before he could finish, the turtle struck, sending him flying out of the arena. Tsubai, still pulling out his chair and peanuts, looked genuinely surprised. "You're that weak? I haven't even started eating yet," he remarked, adding insult to injury. A girl in the audience pointed out Tsubai's stool, calling it disrespectful, while another spectator explained that his turtle's defense and strength were unmatched, making short work of bronze-level opponents. When the next Yokohama student entered, she was furious, accusing Tsubai of humiliating them. She charged at him, but Tsubai remained unbothered, engrossed in his comic book. The turtle intervened with a well-timed energy beam, sending her flying. The host announced Tsubai's victory, leaving the audience in awe of his casual dominance. Meanwhile, Hu Qingshu noticed a red-haired boy in another arena and asked the principal if he was the captain from Imperial City Martial Arts University. They turned to see the boy fighting a masked opponent. The masked fighter attacked, resulting in a massive explosion, but when the smoke cleared, the masked boy lay defeated. The red-haired flame user apologized for hitting too hard as his victory was announced. Seeing this display, the principal grew nervous. The boy's peak silver-level strength was evident, and Tsubai's seniors were equally shocked. Hu Qingshu commented that unless the Great Wall Guard's military academy intervened, only Magic City Martial Arts University might have the strength to challenge him. The match was over in an instant. Tsubai had secured another victory for Jiangzhou Martial University, but the challenge was far from over. Over at Luohe Martial University, their principal turned to Wang Mingkun, a silver-ranked martial artist, confident in his abilities. Mingkun assured his principal that he would make Jiangzhou taste defeat with a 1 versus 5 strategy. The principal approved, advising him to rely on his speed rather than brute force against the turtle. With the match officially underway, Mingkun stepped into the arena, facing Tsubai. He scoffed, calling Tsubai's previous win a fluke, and promised that Jiangzhou wouldn't be so lucky this time. Tsubai, however, was unfazed. He sized up his opponent, noting that Mingkun was a silver-ranked wind attribute ability user, and called for Ba to enter the fight. Mingkun wasted no time, unleashing a wind-enhanced charge, his body wrapped in powerful air currents. He zipped past Ba, using his insane speed to avoid direct confrontation. However, his confidence shattered the moment he realized Ba wasn't being affected by Earth's gravity. It was moving freely. Realizing he couldn't take on the turtle directly, Mingkun shifted his target to Tsubai. With a smirk, he conjured a razor-sharp wind blade and hurled it straight at him, sneering as he called him a bronze brat and told him to say his goodbyes. But as the air cleared, Tsubai stood there, completely untouched, his golden shell-like defense rendering the attacks meaningless. Confused and shaken, Mingkun muttered about source synchronization and questioned how this was even possible. He couldn't believe it. Someone had actually mastered Luan's divine technique. Finishing his cola, Tsubai finally looked at Mingkun and asked, "You sure about your speed?" He called Ba back and instead summoned Little Bai, his white kitten, sending murmurs of confusion through the crowd. Mingkun burst into laughter. "A cat?" He mocked Tsubai, calling him stupid for bringing out a pet in a serious match. The audience followed suit, laughing at what they assumed was a joke. Even Tsubai's own teammates looked bewildered, wondering if he was trying to mock his opponent. Mani, worried, reminded them that Mingkun was a wind attribute ability user. How could a cat possibly keep up? But the principal, watching intently, simply told them to wait. This was no ordinary cat. Tsubai ignored the noise, casually sitting down on his stool. He told Little Bai not to hit too hard. This was just a match after all, not a battlefield. As soon as he gave the order, Little Bai let out a deafening growl, releasing a massive tiger-shaped shadow. Mingkun's cocky expression vanished instantly. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he tried to convince himself he was seeing things. But before he could react, Little Bai's form erupted into its true state, a massive, towering white tiger. Panic set in. Mingkun stuttered in disbelief, watching as the cute little kitten transformed into an apex predator before his eyes. The crowd fell silent, their laughter replaced by sheer shock. Before Mingkun could process what was happening, Little Bai charged, its speed far beyond anything he had expected. Desperate, Mingkun infused his sharp blade with wind energy and slashed at Little Bai's neck, but the strike hit nothing but air. It was just an afterimage. Now trapped in the center of the arena, Mingkun frantically tried to keep up with the tiger's movements. He refused to accept that a beast could outspeed him, shouting that wind is the fastest element. Realizing he couldn't win against the tiger, he shifted targets again. If he couldn't beat the beast, he'd take out Tsubai directly. Fueled by desperation, Mingkun launched forward, screaming for Tsubai to die. Yet, before he could even get close, Little Bai materialized right in front of him, blocking his attack effortlessly. Mingkun's eyes widened in horror. With a casual swipe, Little Bai sent Mingkun flying across the arena, knocking him out of bounds in an instant. The host didn't even hesitate, immediately announcing Subai as the winner. The entire arena fell into stunned silence. No one could believe what they had just witnessed. A bronze-ranked freshman had just utterly dominated a silver-ranked martial artist from a prestigious university. Some audience members questioned if it had really happened. Others tried to process how a white tiger could be even stronger than a giant turtle. One professor simply muttered, "What the hell is up with this kid?" The crowd erupted in cheers, celebrating Subai and Little Bai's overwhelming victory. At the judges' panel, a bald judge admitted he had never heard of Subai before and asked which year he was in at Jiangzhou Martial University. The gray-haired judge, instead of answering, pointed out something even more shocking. Even the elite students from top capital universities and the military weren't this strong. The bald judge found it unbelievable that Jiangzhou Martial University had produced such a monster this year. The gray-haired judge nodded, stating that Jiangzhou was about to rise in the rankings. Meanwhile, in the rest area, students from Imperial City Martial University scoffed at Luohe Martial University's defeat, calling them weaklings. Their irritation only grew as they watched Subai dominate with 2 tamed beasts, especially since he was just some country bumpkin. To make matters worse, he was freeloading on their buffet, a spread worth tens of thousands. Furious, one student swore that if they faced Subai, they wouldn't let him off easy. Their captain Zuan ordered the team to crush Subai in the semi-finals, and the rest of his teammates agreed. It was time to put this arrogant rookie in his place. Back in the arena, Subai continued his unstoppable winning streak. Little Bai flattened an opponent, forcing him to forfeit in fear. Another opponent was launched off the stage with a single tail swipe. Little Bai shattered a barrier with ease and sent yet another fighter flying. The host congratulated Jiangzhou Martial University, officially announcing that they had advanced to the top 4. The crowd erupted, cheering Subai's name. The principal was moved to tears, calling it a miracle that his university had finally made it this far. Chingu praised Subai for carrying the team, and other teammates proudly declared that no one would ever look down on Jiangzhou again. Approaching Subai, the principal couldn't hide his excitement. He praised Subai, calling him the greatest contributor Jiangzhou had seen in centuries. Subai, however, just shrugged, saying it was his duty. But then, the principal dropped a bombshell. Since they had already reached the top 4, their mission was complete, and their rewards would soon follow. Subai was stunned. Complete? They weren't done yet. There were still top 4 matches to fight. He suspected the principal was planning to hand over the billion-dollar championship prize to the top-tier schools without a fight. That wasn't happening. The principal explained that Jiangzhou's goal had only ever been the top 6, and making it to the top 4 was already beyond expectations. He then asked Subai if he was seriously considering challenging the 3 top-tier universities. Chingu was equally surprised but quickly backed Subai. Why not go all the way? He pointed at Modu Martial University, emphasizing that their university gate alone cost 1.8 billion, far beyond Jiangzhou's means. If they won first place, they could rebuild their entire university. The rest of the team rallied behind Subai, agreeing that giving up now would be a disgrace. Even Tianxiang, usually the first to criticize Subai, admitted that he had earned the right to lead them into battle. The principal was impressed by their determination and fighting spirit. He instructed them to get some rest and prepare for tomorrow's top 4 matches. If they really wanted to go for the championship, they would need to be at their best. As the team left, the principal shook his head with a knowing smile. They were still young and reckless, daring to challenge the 3 most powerful universities in the nation. A high-ranking officer reported that the 100 Universities League had reached its final 4 and would conclude in 2 days. But that wasn't all. The military's counterattack against the myriad races was finally ready. The entire army had gathered at the front lines, waiting for the signal to launch a full-scale offensive. The captain praised the team for their preparations and officially announced that as soon as the 100 Universities League ended, the battle against the myriad races would begin. Additionally, all students from the competition would be deployed to the battlefield. The higher-ups agreed without hesitation. They had not forgotten the tens of thousands of students and mentors who had fallen to the myriad races. Now, it was time for payback. No matter how far the enemy ran, Dragon Nation would hunt them down. At Modu Hotel, Subai sat cross-legged, cultivating with Luan's book, while his tamed beasts devoured their meals. Suddenly, a surge of powerful energy erupted, shaking the entire hotel. Even Subai was startled. His pets froze, eyes wide in shock. A system notification flashed before him. He had successfully comprehended the Beast Tamer's exclusive talent skill, transposition. Within a 1-kilometer radius, he could swap positions with his tamed beasts instantly, bypassing all restrictions. The revelation left him stunned. This meant that he and Ba could switch places at any moment. The strategic possibilities were endless. But instead of overthinking, he decided more skills meant more power, and that was all that mattered. Grabbing his bag, he called for Ba and Little Bai. It was time to challenge the top-tier universities. At the competition venue, the host's voice boomed across the stadium, announcing the beginning of the top 4 stage of the 100 Universities League. The first team stepping onto the battlefield was the Great Wall Guardian Military Academy. The host detailed their history, explaining how they were once a military base established in 1907 on the Myriad Races battlefield. Despite hundreds of attacks over its 94-year history, the academy had never fallen, thanks to the relentless efforts of its students and mentors. Their motto was simple yet unbreakable: as long as the Myriad Races exist, the Great Wall will never fall. The most feared and revered warrior in humanity, king-level expert Nie Ching, was their honorary principal. Because of his existence, even the strongest warriors of the Myriad Races dared not step foot into their territory. The audience erupted in cheers, acknowledging that the Great Wall Guardian Military Academy was truly a city of heroes. If Modu and Capital Martial University were considered elite, then Great Wall Guardian Military Academy stood even above them. Their strength was unimaginable. Some spectators noticed an odd detail: the Great Wall Guardian team only had 5 members and no substitutes. A chubby man questioned if that was a mistake, but another man scoffed, reminding him that they didn't need substitutes. Meanwhile, the principal explained to Jiangzhou's students that Nie Ching was the unshakable guardian of humanity. Even fighting against the Great Wall Guardian Military Academy was an honor in itself. But Subai, unfazed, simply asked when he could become the guardian of humanity, like Nie Ching. The principal could only laugh awkwardly, unsure how to answer that. The host announced the matchups for the top 4 stage: Great Wall Guardian Military Academy versus Capital Martial University, Modu Martial University versus Jiangzhou Martial University. In the rest area, the Modu team barely reacted. Zuan, their captain, barely looked up from his phone, calling the match boring. His teammates mocked Jiangzhou, dismissing them as troublemakers who had somehow stumbled into the top 4. A blue-haired woman sighed in disappointment, saying that beating Jiangzhou wouldn't even be a challenge. One of their male members volunteered to eliminate Jiangzhou alone, boasting that he could wipe them all out in one go. The host called for Han Zhan, the captain of the Great Wall Guardian Military Academy, a lord-level expert and the grandson of General Han Dong. Han Zhan stood tall and imposing, clad in purple-gold armor forged from diamond-tier cores. Without hesitation, he turned to Wang Yang, the captain of Capital Martial University, and issued a direct challenge. He had no patience for drawn-out fights. He wanted to start with a captain versus captain showdown. The crowd erupted in excitement. A battle between 2 captains right from the start? This was shaping up to be a fight worth watching. Wang Yang, the captain of Capital Martial University, leaped onto the stage with ease. Unfazed by Han Zhan's challenge, he smirked, questioning why Han Zhan was making such a big deal out of this. The crowd, especially the female audience, went wild, calling Wang Yang their idol and swooning over how handsome he was. The principal watched the match with interest, commenting that youth truly was filled with passion. But Subai barely paid attention. Instead, he turned to Luo, nudging him and whispering that it was his turn to fight first. Luo, caught off guard, hesitated. Could he really do this? Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Han Zhan took his stance. With unwavering confidence, he declared that the fight would begin now, offering Wang Yang the first move. Wang Yang accepted Han Zhan's challenge, launching a lightning-fast attack with his spear. However, Han Zhan, standing firm, effortlessly blocked the strike. The audience was stunned by the display of Han Zhan's diamond rank armor skill, impressed by how refined his technique had become. But Wang Yang refused to back down. He unleashed a relentless flurry of attacks, circling his opponent at high speed, his movements boosted by the howling wind technique, making him almost impossible to track. Observing the battle, Subai's principal explained that Wang Yang was an extreme agility and attack-type fighter, using wind energy to enhance his speed and make himself nearly invisible. Subai acknowledged the overwhelming power of a mid-silver rank warrior, wondering how he, as a mid-bronze rank, could ever compete at this level. Meanwhile, Han Zhan, keeping a close eye on Wang Yang's movements, spotted a brief opening. A slight smile formed on his face as he raised his spear, gathering an immense amount of energy. Without hesitation, he smashed it into the ground, sending a shockwave rippling across the arena, shattering the ground beneath them. The impact was so intense that it threw Wang Yang off balance, disrupting his movement. One of the judges immediately recognized the technique, identifying it as Grand General Han's Sky Splitter Slash, a move so powerful that 3 years ago, it had been used to kill a diamond rank enemy. A commentator praised the strategy, calling it brilliant, while another declared that Han Zhan truly deserved his title as the top warrior of the Great Wall Guardian Military Academy. Despite the overwhelming force of the attack, Wang Yang wasn't finished. He pushed himself up, gripping his spear tightly, and charged at Han Zhan with everything he had, aiming to end the fight in one decisive strike. Recognizing the desperation in Wang Yang's attack, Han Zhan met him head-on, unleashing his most powerful move. The arena erupted in flames, sending waves of heat and energy across the battlefield, even causing some of the audience to flinch in fear. Wang Yang's attempt at a counterattack was futile. His spear shattered upon impact, and the force of Han Zhan's attack broke multiple bones in his body. The audience gasped, some arguing that it was too brutal for a tournament match. If Han Zhan had used the sharp edge of his spear instead of the back, Wang Yang would have been dead. Some spectators criticized the excessive force, questioning whether killing intent was really necessary in a competition. Despite his severe injuries, Wang Yang forced himself back up, using his broken spear for support. He acknowledged Han Zhan's overwhelming strength and, without hesitation, admitted defeat. The host immediately announced Great Wall Guardian Military Academy's victory, marking their advancement in the semi-finals. Even though Han Zhan had won, his right hand was trembling, revealing that even he had felt the strain of the battle. Watching from the sidelines, Subai remarked that Great Wall Guardian Military Academy was on a completely different level. Jiangzhou Martial University's principal then stepped forward, announcing that it was now their turn to fight. He turned to Luo Yang, asking if he was ready. Luo Yang confidently stepped forward, declaring that he wouldn't embarrass Jiangzhou Martial University. Before sending him into the arena, the principal reminded him to know his limits. If things got too dangerous, surrendering would be the smarter option. For the second match, Modu Martial University sent out a black-haired student named Zheng Leiqiao. As he stepped onto the battlefield, the match officially began. Zheng Leiqiao, a dual-blade user, entered the arena with a twisted grin, licking the edge of his blades as he taunted Luo Yang. He mocked his opponent, treating the battle like a game. Luo Yang, furious at the disrespect, charged forward, swinging his sword with full force. Zheng Leiqiao, however, easily dodged the attack with minimal effort, sneering as he asked if that was the best Luo Yang could do. Moving at incredible speed, he countered with a flurry of slashes, cutting Luo Yang multiple times in the blink of an eye. Zheng Leiqiao taunted Luo Yang, mocking him as he continued slashing at his back with his dual blades. With each strike, he laughed, enjoying the humiliation he was inflicting. Watching from the sidelines, Luo Yang's teammates grew increasingly enraged, calling out that this had gone too far. Some pleaded with the principal to let Luo Yang step down, but Subai stopped them, stating that Luo Yang was standing his ground, not just for himself, but for Jiangzhou Martial University's dignity. Inside the arena, Zheng Leiqiao paused, resting his blade against Luo Yang's neck. He warned that if he refused to surrender, things would only get worse. With his body covered in wounds and barely able to lift his sword, Luo Yang still refused to give in. His declaration of never surrendering was met with another stab, causing him to cough up blood. Even then, he refused to back down. Seeing this, Zheng Leiqiao's expression darkened as his eyes turned red with madness. He continued attacking, cutting into Luo Yang's body relentlessly, his laughter echoing across the arena. Despite the overwhelming assault, Luo Yang kept repeating that he would never surrender. Eventually, he lost consciousness and collapsed to the ground. The audience murmured in discomfort. Some were horrified, questioning whether Zheng Leiqiao had any humanity left. Others criticized the brutality, calling it unnecessary to torture an opponent like this. Once Luo Yang fell unconscious, the host declared Zheng Leiqiao as the winner, securing a victory for Modu Martial University in the first match. Subai and his teammates rushed into the arena, concern and fury clear on their faces. Subai especially was enraged, accusing Modu Martial University of taking things too far. While Luo Yang was being taken away, another senior, Bai Ningbing, stepped forward, eyes locked onto Zheng Leiqiao. Without waiting for instruction, he informed the principal that he would be taking the next match and that he wouldn't allow Zheng Leiqiao to act so arrogantly any longer. The principal reminded him to be careful and avoid a direct confrontation, but Ningbing was already set on his path. Stepping onto the battlefield, Bai Ningbing unsheathed his sword. Across from him, Zheng Leiqiao smirked, commenting that his new opponent didn't look very durable. His arrogance fueled Ningbing's anger, who immediately dismissed the taunts, stating that he talked too much. The host wasted no time, signaling the start of the second round. The moment the match began, Bai Ningbing charged at Zheng Leiqiao with full intent to kill. His sword slashed toward his opponent, but Zheng Leiqiao effortlessly dodged, maneuvering around his attack with ease. Recognizing Ningbing's relentless bloodlust, Zheng Leiqiao adjusted his stance, counterattacking with a swift sword strike, ensuring his opponent wouldn't have another chance. Both fighters attacked relentlessly, their weapons clashing violently. Observing the match, spectators began questioning if these were truly students or trained warriors, as the brutality of their exchange seemed more fitting for a battlefield than a tournament. Some in the audience grew concerned, suggesting that the fight should be stopped before someone was killed. As the match continued, both Ningbing and Zheng Leiqiao sustained injuries, their bodies covered in deep cuts. For the first time, Zheng Leiqiao hesitated, realizing that his opponent wasn't backing down. The injuries weren't enough to stop him, but fear crept into his expression. In desperation, he asked if Ningbing was trying to get them both killed. Despite his wounds, Bai Ningbing remained focused. He reminded Zheng Leiqiao that Jiangzhou Martial University never gives up. Tightening his grip on his sword, he made a reckless decision, turning the sword's hilt towards himself and stabbing through his own body to pierce Zheng Leiqiao at the same time. Zheng Leiqiao's eyes widened in pure shock, unable to comprehend the suicidal move. Bai Ningbing drove the blade deeper, gritting through the pain as he declared that this was how Jiangzhou Martial University fought, unlike Zheng Leiqiao, who only knew how to bully the weak. In a state of panic and agony, Zheng Leiqiao screamed, begging for mercy. His fear overtook his arrogance as he cried out for his principal to save him. Just before Bai Ningbing could deal the final blow, a hand suddenly appeared, stopping the sword. The Modu Martial University's principal had stepped in, rescuing Zheng Leiqiao from certain death. Without hesitation, he declared that Modu Martial University conceded the match. The host wasted no time in officially announcing Modu Martial University's forfeit. At that moment, Jiangzhou Martial University's principal rushed into the arena, catching Bai Ningbing as he collapsed. His expression hardened in fury, turning toward the opposing principal. His voice carried undisguised rage as he confronted him, criticizing Modu Martial University for its students' disgraceful behavior. After humiliating their opponent on stage and then begging for help when facing death, the Modu Martial Arts University principal turned to Jiangzhou Martial University's team, dismissing them. He warned them not to assume that making it to the top 4 meant they were qualified to challenge Modu Martial University. As the situation escalated, the medical team tended to Zheng Leiqiao, who had suffered less severe injuries, while Bai Ningbing, who had fought with everything he had, was ignored. This blatant disregard infuriated Jiangzhou's principal, who reminded them that the lives of his students were just as valuable. The Modu principal, uninterested in any further discussion, walked away, stating that the truth would be revealed in the arena. Frustrated, Jiangzhou's principal turned to Subai, urging him to take the stage and retaliate fiercely. The mistreatment of their students could not go unanswered. Motivated by these words, Subai confidently stepped forward, promising that he would make Modu Martial University pay for what they had done. As Subai exited the arena, carrying Bai Ningbing to a stretcher, the Jiangzhou principal praised him for bringing honor to their school. The seniors reassured Bai Ningbing, telling him to rest and recover, as Subai would now make sure their enemies learned their lesson. Meanwhile, on the other side, Modu Martial University's captain, Cao Zixuan, approached his principal, requesting permission to personally deal with the so-called nobodies from Jiangzhou Martial University. His principal, however, instructed him to be patient, as the championship was still ahead. Inside the arena, Subai stood tall and issued a challenge. He declared that if Modu Martial University lost, they must publicly apologize to Jiangzhou Martial University. His voice echoed through the arena as he asked if they had the courage to accept. The crowd erupted, cheering for Subai and urging him to defeat Modu Martial University. Some journalists began discussing the unprecedented event, acknowledging that Jiangzhou challenging a powerhouse like Modu was a major headline. A blogger asked his audience if they thought Modu would really be forced to apologize. From the opposing side, Cao Zixuan scoffed, questioning whether a student from Jiangzhou Martial University was even worthy of speaking to them. Before he could step forward, another student, Han, volunteered, stating that he would teach Subai a lesson and remind Jiangzhou of the difference in their status. The Modu principal approved and allowed him to enter the arena. As Han stepped forward, Subai asked if he was there to apologize. Instead, Han tightened his fists, laughing at the idea. To him, apologies were meaningless, as the weak had no right to demand anything from the strong. Strength was the only truth. Hearing this, Subai turned to the host, requesting that Modu Martial University send another fighter as well. Facing them one by one, he said, was too exhausting, and he was in a hurry. The arena fell silent for a moment before whispers spread through the crowd. Many spectators criticized Subai's arrogance, doubting whether he could defeat even one opponent, let alone 2. Some within the audience commented on Cao Zixuan's reputation, comparing him to Wang Yang, another powerhouse. A girl in the stands questioned whether Modu Martial University had taken things too far, but others argued that Subai was simply asking for his own downfall. When Modu's team failed to respond, Subai mocked them. His provocation infuriated the Modu principal, who immediately ordered Cao Zixuan to step onto the battlefield. Their dignity, he declared, was not to be trampled on. Without hesitation, Cao Zixuan leaped into the arena, wielding 2 swords, and declared that if Jiangzhou Martial University wanted a fight, he would gladly oblige. As he activated his power, his body became engulfed in a red and blue aura, creating an overwhelming presence. Among the judges, one of them recognized the dual swords in Cao Zixuan's hands, pointing them out to the others. The blades were crafted from Millennium Cold Iron and Molten Scarlet Iron, making them incredibly rare and valuable. The cores embedded in the hilts had come from platinum-level warriors of the myriad races. The other judges were shocked by this revelation. They realized that the Cao family and Modu Martial University had invested an incredible amount of resources into Cao Zixuan, proving that he was far from an ordinary opponent. A judge noted that Modu Martial Arts University had inherited the most powerful cultivation method left behind by the god of ice and fire, one of their legendary graduates. There was speculation that Cao Zixuan had been practicing this very technique. As his aura surged, Cao Zixuan addressed Subai, insisting that Modu's warriors did not bully the weak. Instead, he offered Subai a chance to summon his tamed beasts, warning him that this could be his only opportunity before the battle began. Subai, unfazed, responded that he wouldn't need them. He alone was enough to take them on. His response drew laughter from Cao Zixuan, who found the idea of a beast tamer fighting without his tamed beasts ridiculous. A shocked senior from Jiangzhou Martial University questioned how Subai intended to fight, but the principal assured them that Subai had already activated shared origin. Without waiting, Cao Zixuan launched his attack, calling Subai arrogant and claiming that he was courting death. Han, following his captain's lead, joined in, declaring that the weak should know their place. Subai remained calm, smiling as they charged at him. He then unleashed his full aura, activating Sharp Gold Spirit, Sharp Gold Ghost Shadow, and Earth Spirit Possession, strengthening his body to the limit. As they closed in, Subai declared that he would settle the score with everyone from Modu Martial University. The moment Han got close, Subai didn't wait. A single punch to the face sent Han flying across the arena. Cao Zixuan, stunned, struggled to process what had just happened. He couldn't believe that Subai's speed had already reached the gold level. A senior from Jiangzhou Martial University, equally surprised, turned to another student, questioning how a beast tamer could possess such raw physical strength. Another student reminded him of Great Master Luo Pan, who had also gained immense combat power after comprehending shared origin. However, some still doubted whether Subai could be compared to someone of Luo Pan's caliber. Meanwhile, Subai himself was taken aback by his newfound strength. He turned to Cao Zixuan, asking if he had ever experienced the feeling of complete powerlessness. Recognizing the threat, Cao Zixuan immediately drew both his fire and ice swords, acknowledging that Subai was worthy of a serious fight, but insisted that this was as far as he would go. Flames erupted from his sword, but to his shock, the fire never even reached Subai. Subai, now moving at blinding speed, appeared behind him in an instant, pointing out that Cao Zixuan was still too slow. As the fight continued, Han managed to get up, calling out to his captain to attack Subai together. Cao Zixuan, realizing Han's mistake, shouted a warning, but it was too late. Subai turned in a flash, overwhelming Han before he could react. His fists landed in rapid succession, striking 7 times, leaving Han bloodied and helpless. With one final kick, Subai sent him flying, knocking him unconscious. Standing over his fallen opponent, Subai coldly stated that the 7 blows were payback for the 7 cuts Luo Yang had endured. Seeing Han lying motionless, Cao Zixuan's fury boiled over. He charged at Subai, demanding that he fight him directly. Subai, watching his opponent rush in, simply smiled. He wasn't finished having fun just yet. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.